And so that was
like
at least 31, 32
at least 31,
years ago.
32 years ago. Yeah.
and you cracked me up then, and you cracked me up now.
We had a good fucking time. We had a good time back then. We had a good time last night, dude. Last night was so much fun. God, that club is just such a fun hang.
I love seeing you enjoy life. I love seeing you enjoy life. And watching you, it's like, what I love about you is you've never changed, and you love comedy. You love stand-up comedy. And to see you just eating, breathing, talking, living, loving stand-up. Bro, you would fucking go in the main room. I get there, right? And you crush it. I'm watching the balcony like a 15-year-old going. Bro, that felt good for me. You know, when you're able to watch another guy and laugh your fucking balls up, and then you come inside and then you're talking more comedy with all the dudes in there, and then you go in the little room and you're telling me, because dude, I'm way out of my element last night. I was just like this whole time, like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, holy shit!
You slipped right into it. Come on, man.
Well.
You felt like you belonged at that place.
Huh?
You felt like you belonged at that place. Like immediately, the moment you went on stage, we were in the balcony watching you. I was crying. That was the best impression of me I've ever seen anybody do.
Well, it's fascinating watching you.
Ridiculous I am.
Well, I'm in the green room and you're you know, the guys are talking about fighting and you're just like, just every movie, you're like, dude, you got to go slow. It's repetition. What, and what, and then you start going, but you always stay right here. And all of them will watch you like that. I'm watching you like that. Dude, you could sell me probably going into the UFC for at least one fight. Fucking captivating. It was. I really had a good time. But I
a lot of those guys
say,
are getting into martial arts. You know?
Huh?
It's a lot of those guys are getting into martial arts. You know, because like guys are trying jujitsu. It's really interesting because it's like they're realizing like there's something to that. There's something to doing that thing, that very difficult physical thing. It makes you better at other stuff.
I want to do it, and I didn't commit to it yet because I know.
You should go with Joey. Joey loves it. Joey Diaz, he does jujitsu all the time.
But he's in Jersey, right?
Yeah, you're not in Jersey anymore. You're in Florida now. There's plenty of places in Florida I could say.
There is plenty, but
oh my God, Florida's filled with like high level jujitsu.
But what I was gonna say was, knowing what you're capable of definitely adds to everything about you. The way your whole day goes about, like it creates a fearless, if that makes sense.
Well, it's just like it gives you more of an understanding of other stuff. Like if you get good at a thing that's hard to do, it gives you a better understanding of how to get good at other stuff.
Yeah.
I think even life and just life in general, like having a difficult thing that you do in your life, I think makes the rest of life easier. I really do, and I think we're just humans are so adaptable, man. You look at people that live in horrible conditions and they seem fine. Like you ever see like these videos of these villages where these kids are playing and there's just dirt, there's nothing else, and they're just kicking around a homemade soccer ball, laughing and giggling.
Joe, so last year, 2 years ago. We go on a big vacation, right? I like going to Africa. And we go to this tribe. And
what part of Africa did you go?
This one was in Kenya. It was right outside of Kenya. Like you flew into Nairobi. It was just outside of Kenya. But you remember when you were a kid and like you build a fort? Like if me and you were hanging out with 12 years old, you're like, oh, you want to build a fort? Yeah, okay. You're gonna end up getting like, okay, I got a trash can.
Yeah,
I got my dad's jacket. I got the hood of a car, and we love. And then once you build a fort, then you're inside, and you're like, this is where we're gonna cook, dude. That's what these guys lived in, and they were. It was like watching kids play fort, and they were just so proud. I went in. I'll show you a picture later. It's so fucking cool. You go in, and that's all they got, and I think that. When you say that's all they got, it's a misconception.
Yeah, because they exist just like we exist. Like they're alive and thriving just like we're alive and thriving. It's just a completely different way of living. A hunter-gatherer's way of living, apparently, when you talk to, and I'm not talking about like, let's be real clear. I'm not talking about like third world people who live in like rural poverty. I'm talking about hunter-gatherers. I'm talking about people that exist off the land.
Right.
There's something about that they think resonates with people because that's how we evolved. And so when people do that, they're very happy. Like they had a really interesting docuseries on Vice back in the day called Heinmo's Arctic Adventure. And it's about this guy, Heinmo Korth. I hope I'm saying his name right. I think I am. And this dude moved up to the Arctic in like the 1970s, and he's been there ever since. This dude doesn't have he's got a TV with like VHS tapes, and he watches movies occasionally. He saw about 9/11. He saw a photo of 9/11. He's still never seen the planes go into the towers. And this guy moved up there and met this woman, this indigenous woman, and had a family with her. And this fucking guy lives in like a log house that's in the middle of the woods, and he's surrounded by grizzly bears. He had to kill a grizzly bear on camera in the middle of this thing. The grizzly bear was coming to kill his dog or eat his caribou or something. It's killed one of his dogs in the past. Like you have your dogs tied up outside to bark to make sure that they know when bears are coming.
Right.
And a bear ate his fucking dog. The dog was tied up. They came back. The dog was dead. Or just pieces of it. Like, and this guy lives like this, and he's so happy, but he's also super intelligent. So when this guy's talking, he's explaining how I think this is how people are supposed to live.
Well, not only that too, but knowing that your life or any life can end at any moment, at any time. I think when you have a reality that just how delicate all of life is, you have a different perception, and you look at things a lot differently. Like you lose someone you truly love. This fucker knows all of them are vulnerable, including himself.
He lost his baby. He lost a 2-year-old baby. It fell out of their boat in the rapids. I mean, this is how difficult their life is, that they're forced to hold a 2-year-old baby in the rapids.
Well,
there's no other way to do it. They have to get through. So
right.
Everyone has to survive. And
it's like
the thing tipped over.
It's like, well, and we live in our world where a 2-year-old gets cancer.
Right.
And you go watch that kid go through things and have 10, 15 operations. Yeah. And then you finally lose them. It's life. That's the part, like, doesn't matter. Part of me wants to go back to that. I know it's going to be a battle. But there is part of me that feels like this should be the new school. But is there a mix between living that way and like, hey man, let's go get some pizza and burgers. Yeah. Let's go see a fucking movie. Yeah. Or let's go see. And we have to get too nuts out here. Is there, because that's the new school, learning how to build a home, learning how to live off the land.
Dude, you know what I saw that was fascinating the other day? They took apart this 100-plus-year-old Japanese building that was made with no nails. The craftsmanship is so insane. They have these wood cuts where they wedge into each other perfectly, and then they have a separate wedge that they put in each piece to secure it in place. And they built this house this way with no nails over 100 years ago.
Is this like the log cabin thing too, where you like?
No, but it's not like a log. It's like perfect. Like a log cabin, it's kind of rough. You know, like they do that and they make those cuts and they slide them in place, but it's a little rough. I'm talking about like this precision, thin cuts on wood where they mesh together perfectly.
I saw a complete opposite where they built into the ground, and I don't know if it was like India or whatever. They had brown skin, and they built this most incredible underground bedroom just from digging and placing things over certain areas. Bro, it was just...
So they just went into a mountainside.
It wasn't even a mountainside. He went...
A hillside?
Yeah.
They went into the ground?
Went to the ground and went...
Like a hobbit house?
Yes.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Yeah, this is it. Look at how they did this. This is the Japanese construction. Isn't that insane? Look how they made these fucking perfect cut wedges. and they just slide into each other. And they had this whole building built like this. There's no nails. And it existed like this perfectly for 100 years. So they're deconstructing it. I'm hoping that they're going to reconstruct it. I don't know what they're doing.
So how old's this thing?
Over 100 years old, I believe. 100 years ago. Yeah, it's joinery.
When I was looking it up, it says that that's how they did construction in Japan back then.
It's amazing.
There's a bunch of videos showing this stuff.
It's amazing. Because it's not like they didn't have nails back then. But what's fascinating about someone who's willing to commit to building stuff like this is like, this is engineering, this is art, this is architecture. I mean, these guys, look at how they're doing this, man, when they're making all these things slide into each other and secure in place with wedges. This is incredible.
It said they're bug repellent, too. They're treated with bug repellent.
That probably gives you cancer. Like, what kind of bug repellent? That stuff's so nasty. When I did construction, I used to have to carry pressure-treated lumber. And because I was a grunt, and pressure-treated lumber, you get splinters in you, and you're basically getting inoculated with some chemical. Like, what the fuck is pressure-treated lumber pressure-treated with? It smells terrible.
It's amazing.
We used to have to I did one job that I had during the summer with my friend Jimmy Lawless. He got me a job working for his construction company. Yeah. And Jimmy was a carpenter at the time, and I was a laborer. And we had to build a Knights of Columbus ramp. And it was just carrying pressure-treated lumber and cement all day. Dude, I did 2 weeks of that.
How old are you? How old are you?
I guess I was 18. Yeah, somewhere around 18.
It's the last thing you want to be doing.
I was like, fuck this. Because I had like entertained some romantic ideas of going into construction, you know, be like a good thing, but I wasn't interested in it, you know. I was like, I did a lot of construction gigs because my stepdad was an architect, so I was always on construction sites when I was a kid. But that is fucking hard work,
dude,
man.
That's a whole different level of work. That is, you're getting up early. Yeah. You're using every muscle in your body. I did that for like 3 days tops, I think. I'm not even kidding. My friend, here's what happened to me was, he goes, you know, we're working on this whatever building. I don't know, it was a church, whatever it was. I'm petrified of heights. All right, so I was fine on the ground, gathering things and bringing shit. But when he was like, okay, take this screw gun, and then you're going to go up the scaffold and fucking, what?
Yeah, no harness.
Right.
No nothing.
No,
just
nothing.
climb that thing.
So I stood there. And every time he was looking, it looked like I was like, eh. And then he caught on like 15. He's like, Breuer, you haven't even gotten one in. I'm like, oh, fuck. He's like, and then he calls you out. You afraid of heights? Are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah. Are you afraid
Joe,
of dying?
You bring this guy who's afraid of fucking heights? I'm sorry.
That's called being intelligent.
Bro.
You're supposed to be afraid of heights.
Petrified.
Dude, when I watch those Alex Honnold videos, that guy climbing the mountains, where it's like at this angle, he's like literally hanging on with his fingers and toes, crawling his way thousands of feet above the rocks. Like, what are you doing?
What about the guys in the buildings?
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah.
Like buildings.
James Kingston sent me this. This is him. Yeah. Like, this crazy fucker. This crazy fucker. Look what he's doing, man. This is not good. Like, look at this way he's got to climb this thing. Bro.
Oh my!
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And he's barefoot. My feet would be so sweaty. I would be slipping and sliding all over the place.
He got to the top and he didn't even know what was going to happen. He's like, "How do I do this?"
Yeah,
he's fucking stuck.
What? Oh Jesus Christ! I can't let that. Take it away. Take it away. Take it away.
So
stop it.
So
that's called being intelligent, though.
Well, so. I remember one time I was with my kids. I went with the family, and we go, and the kids really want to go on this Ferris wheel. All right, but I think I remember where it was. It was definitely in maybe it was Canada. It doesn't fucking matter. All I know is you're in a cage, and this one goes really high, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? It's fucking the kids. This one's 7. I'll be cool. We got in. I don't think I made it to halfway, and then they started with the shaking and the fucking shaking, and I was so scared. I threatened my child's life. I told them I was gonna punch their fucking faces. I swear to God. I'm screaming, going, I will punch your fucking face in right now. I swear to God. And my wife's like, Jim, stop. And that was it, man. That was it. Shut my eyes. Fucking, I'm never tempting heights ever again in my life. I don't need to. I'm 55. I'm done. Fucking done.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary. I don't need it.
Having a job where you literally risk your life climbing scaffoldings and hanging on while you're screwing things in. Bro.
It's crazy.
It's hard work, man.
That's man shit.
Shout out to all the construction workers out there listening to this.
That's man stuff.
That's real work.
That's man stuff.
That taught me, that was like one of the most important things about me becoming a comedian. Having like really hard labor jobs and realizing like, I don't want to do this. Like I gotta figure something out.
No, my dad was sanitation. I'd watch him. And like, I don't know if I can, you know, I watch people working all day. Like, I don't know if I can do this, dude.
Imagine if you're doing sanitation, okay, and you're grabbing garbage cans and you're throwing them in. What are you smelling all day? What are you smelling all day, and how can that not be bad for you? Right? Like toxic fumes, if you work in a factory, you have to have fucking the respirator thing on and the masks. How is that okay that these garbage men are just breathing in toxic fumes all day? If you can smell it, that means it's getting in your body.
And they were all like, his whole crew were all World War II guys. So they all came back. They all just came back from that. They all hook each other up.
Right. And they all got jobs doing that. Solid job.
Solid job.
I mean, maybe they don't smell it too much. Maybe the way they do it now.
He come home smelling like pure ass.
It seems
ass
like
and dog shit. It was horrifying.
There's certain jobs where, like, Jesus Christ, like, how do you protect people like that in a pandemic? Like, you can't stop them from working. They just, isn't it funny that like certain people were allowed to keep working? Like,
dude, don't get me started on that.
What was weird is like they had jobs that were deemed critical.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
We will tell you what jobs are essential.
What was the essential? Yeah, so that meant if you were non-essential, like you didn't contribute to society, you were non-essential.
We will decide who is essential.
The weird thing is that podcasting was essential.
It was very essential.
But it was. Like,
yes, it was.
It was listed as, because it's entertainment. The show must go on.
The show must go on.
People need to be entertained.
Meanwhile, we didn't know we were part of the sub show.
Yeah, we were part of a weird show.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember the early days, like Dana White wanted to put on an event, and they were saying, no, you can't have events anymore.
Because of COVID?
Because of COVID. It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to find a place for this. And then eventually we wound up doing it indoors with no audience. Eventually, it was a few months in, they wound up doing, we did a show in Jacksonville, I believe. It was definitely Florida. I think it was Jacksonville. And no audience in an arena. It was wild.
I remember that.
It was weird because it was a big-ass arena. And, you know, there's just us. And everybody's weirded out. It's like such a small amount of people. And everybody's like, are we going to die? Like, is this, like, what the fuck is this? It was like the early days of the pandemic. Everybody was still really weirded out by it.
You know, it was very frustrating for me because I just came off of like the Impractical Joker cruise. I just toured. I left Metallica and then did my own tour. So all I thought about was, okay, all those tours that were out there, all those bands, thousands of bands are touring everywhere. And all of a sudden in March, you're like, everything's shut. But up until February, you had thousands of different bands, all the meet and greets, all the hotels, all the airlines, all the partying. And no one out of that, you never heard anyone dying. And I would do meet and greets, have people coughing on me. I didn't know anyone dying. And I'm not saying people didn't die. We're not saying that because they get pissed. Like, is someone right now going, are you saying someone that died? Sorry. No, dude, it's not what we're saying.
You want to hear the most fucked up statistic that I've heard recently? 74% of hospitalizations and deaths could have been prevented. Is it 74%? Is that the number? With vitamin D? If people had adequate levels of vitamin D?
Bro,
I don't know if that's real, but I read this whole report on it, and I was like, if that number's real, and they knew that vitamin D was essential to fighting off diseases, if they knew that it was essential to your immune system, and they didn't tell everybody, they didn't just scream it from the rooftops, hey, there's this cheap thing that you can get, and it really protects you. It helps you a lot. It's great for you. It's actually a hormone, right? And it's great for you. You should go out in the sun and get it naturally if you can. But if you can't, you need to get some of this vitamin D. It's really going to help you.
Bro, when... And I would tell everyone, I would get in debates.
Okay.
Well, I just got in it with a friend, and people you love, and I go, you're the example of when you got sick, right? And then you come on and you say, hey, this is what I did, and blah blah blah, and hey, it helped me, right? That's all you did.
Yeah.
Now, it's how nobody sees that moment. If the world is in such utter despair from a disease or whatever you want to, is killing everyone. Now let's say it wasn't that, and we didn't have the news. You just heard people go, oh my God, everyone's dying, and like, well, what do we got to do about it? You have to get a shot in the neck. You got to get the shot. Well, is there any other? No, there's no. And then out of nowhere, someone goes, hey, man, I ate this plant. I'm not saying no. I'm just telling you, I ate this plant, and it was this berry. Actually, it kind of tasted another. I ate the berry, and then I did like 10 jumping jacks and fucking stood out in the sun for an hour. And I don't know which of the remedy, but it helped. You think one person will go, whoa, what did you do? Not one human being. And when you saw the vicious attack.
Well, it was a coordinated response. It's very clear why they did it. They did it because I said that I got better and I wasn't vaccinated.
Dude.
And I got better quick. And they were mad. And so the best thing they did, the dumbest thing they did, was say I took veterinary medicine. When they're talking about a drug that is on the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines. It's like they've had billions of prescriptions, not like 100,000, like billions of prescriptions of ivermectin.
I got so pissed at some of my heroes, like, Terry Bradshaw, sorry to bring up his name. I can't look at him anymore. He's on Fox.
What did he do?
NFL, and he's like, I mean, let's face it, they're horse pills. I'm like, oh, dude, they bought you too?
He just didn't know. He doesn't know. He's probably one of those guys that's scared of the disease. He's an older guy, and they have a heightened level of anxiety when it comes to this, and they think that people are being irresponsible. That's what they really believe. He just is misinformed. That's all it is.
You're right.
He just didn't know that this narrative that there's only one way to deal with this, and that this way is actually going to stop it. Well, if it is going to stop it, why do you care who gets it? You should just get it. Because if you get it, that means that no one else is going to. You're never going to get it. Everybody who gets the shot is never going to get it. That was the narrative. That was a lie from the beginning. And now we're realizing that it was a lie. Everybody realizes it was a lie now. Like I was talking to someone last night that had COVID really fucking bad after being vaccinated. Like really bad. 2 weeks wrecked.
So I have a great friend, and his daughter, college, gets the shot. She ends up in an emergency room, and she's got blood clots on her liver. And they're all like, what do you think of it? Well, she rows a lot on the row team, and like, are you really gonna believe that's what it was?
Well, people do anything to not blame it on the vaccine. Like when there's an injury, like people want to find all sorts of other reasons. If there was any other thing that came along that was a new, novel remedy for things, and then there was this host of side effects that were attached to it, people would want to be investigating those side effects. But because this thing came along during the pandemic, and what Robert Malone talks about, where you have one solution that's presented to a problem that's isolating society, people are literally trapped, and this one thing is offered up as a solution. And anything that's opposing that gets attacked because everybody does the work of the propaganda machine. The regular people do that work. because they genuinely believe that you're a knucklehead if you don't go and get vaccinated, and you're going to fuck this up for everybody, and we're never going to get back to work. So they have that in their head, and that's their narrative. He just never looked. He's an old guy.
Okay.
He just probably wasn't looking into it, and he really thought that he was probably doing the right thing, encouraging people to go get it.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally get that 100%. But I feel like people like him and everyone that have been out there, even the ones that believed everything, and that's okay because they got scared, and I get it.
Yeah.
There's still ladies on air. There's still masks on planes. You can
So
tell they're
exhausting.
scared.
That
They're
shit's so
scared.
exhausting.
They got them. But they need to understand. It's like when you're humbled. Hey man, I might have been. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
It's all cool. I don't. But I guess by their actions, I still feel it. But what makes me crazy isn't that a well-orchestrated, marketed, funded way to murder? At the end of the day, like to purposely keep people from getting healthy and actually stopping people. What if your mother that's your angel in your life, and what's being forced and threatened and ridiculed and shamed is that child or that husband, and they do it, and the people that created all this, let's not pretend they don't exist. The people that created this, they knew exactly what they were doing because they planned this in steps. You're not that smart to pull this off without really putting a lot of logic into this. And to me, that's murder. I don't know how you explain it in any other way.
Well, what gets really creepy is if they're ignoring evidence on certain things that could be beneficial because those things are not going to earn the money. Because then you lose all trust in them. Because like all you're offering up is a pharmaceutical remedy for whatever the situation is. You're not saying that there's any other things that can help. When we know that human bodies, there's a lot of things going on, man, and your nutrient levels are very important. Your metabolic health is very important for your immune system. All those things are connected and together. And to think that the way to fix that is only an injection, says who? And why are we listening to people that say that? Anybody that says that is crazy. The whole thing is important. All of your health is important. We should be encouraging people to be fit and healthy and to make healthy food choices and to take supplements and to exercise regularly and to like meditate. All those things are as good as medicine. If what you could get from being healthy was available in a medicine, it would be the most popular medicine in the fucking world. What you could get from being a fit, healthy, happy person, holy shit, would that be a valuable medicine? And you can get it for free. That's available. You just got to do it. And they don't tell you that because they don't really give a fuck about your health. They give a fuck about you following the rules. And if you follow the rules, especially in pertaining to this one, then they make a fuckload of money. And they have no accountability. And that's what it is.
It's unbelievable.
That's what it is. And so when someone like me says, hey, I got better real quick, they're like, oh, you fucking idiot. You're taking horse dewormer. They're all saying it on CNN. So CNN lies. Now you know they lie. Because they knew I wasn't taking veterinary medicine. They knew that the guy who invented it literally won the Nobel Prize. It's so dumb. It's one of the dumbest checkers move ever. It's you know what it is? It's like playing chess and you just run your king out to the middle of the table. Fuck you, man. You're taking horse medicine. We're just going to repeat it over and over again. No one's going to know the difference. No one's going to research the billions of human prescriptions. The fact that it's an antiviral, that it stops viral replication in vitro, that there's studies on it. The fact that it stops yellow fever. People get all these parasites. It kills them. You're so stupid.
Oh my God.
It was one of the dumbest things.
It was so
But
great.
how could anyone ever trust them now when you know that this is how they treat something as so easily provable of being false? And what doesn't make any sense? Like, the attack literally makes no sense. You should be asking, hey, how'd you get better so quick?
Exactly.
And I got the hard one, supposedly. That's the Delta. Like, how'd you get better so quick?
Won't you? That is common sense.
Common sense.
But
instead,
how did they create this?
Because this one narrative thing, the thing that Dr. Malone talked about. Instead of like saying, oh, what kind of life choices is he making? What medicines did he take? What are monoclonal antibodies? What is IV vitamins? How does that help when you're sick? You know, what can you take that when you're normal sick, or is it just COVID that it helps? IV zinc, IV vitamin C and D and B. All that shit is fucking amazing for you.
Do you think that enough people realized? Because that's the thing. If you're just hanging out with someone, if you're hanging out with me, and eventually I start lying to you all the time, are you going to take anything I say seriously?
Right. It's over.
Who in your life do you know
that lies all the time that you
lies,
take seriously?
And you take seriously?
None. No
so
one.
Now that every media group that exists lied right to your face. Right to, like, while they were doing it, someone had to have been writing it going, oh my God, this is like such dick stuff, but I love being
You know what it's
dick.
like? The corporations, we want to think of them as being these impossibly large machines that make money, and they are, but they're just run by people.
Yeah.
And some people are dorks. And those dorks get important jobs, and they put Dylan Mulvaney on a Bud Light can. That's what it is. These are dorks. And you see the response that Bud had, the most recent response? It's like the fucking dumbest pro-America rah. Like, we don't know who you really are now. There's like interviews with the lady who is the head of Bud Light talking about why they did it and about the old sort of frat culture attached to Bud Light, dismissing the people and like the humor of the people that like Bud Light. And so they're going to change that with this crazy attention whore. On day 365 of being a woman. I mean, we are in a fucking Coen Brothers movie. This is a Mike Judge movie.
You're 1,000% correct. Like,
Yeah.
how does nobody else see what lunacy is going
It's
on right now?
such
There's no other
lunacy.
way to explain it.
Bro, you got to watch this Bud Light commercial. This new Bud Light commercial. Find the new
It's
Bud
just-
Light commercial. It's
like
the dumbest pro-America rah. It's so stupid and cliche. It hurts my feelings. It's so dumb. Listen to this. This is a company in deep shit, bro. And they make things like this. Look, you got the prairies, the ocean. You got a Clydesdale running down the
Tell you
street.
a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract.
What the fuck are you talking
Brewed
about?
for those who found opportunity and challenge.
You know, I would respect
I know what
them
this is.
if they had this, and then Dylan Mulvaney just starts cartwheeling into the frame. Day 368 of womanhood.
This is when some CEO is like,
Yeah.
who is in charge? He's 90 years old. Get him. And he comes, well, this is how
Right.
we used to do it. You need the goddamn Clydesdales,
Look
first
at
of all.
this. Look at this.
Beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up.
Holy
now I
shit.
hate you more. Like, what are you doing? What is that? What was that?
You can't come
Bro.
out in like chick's clothes and then turn around and bring a stallion out. and
Well,
think,
the
like, I
problem
didn't just
is
see what I saw.
If you let CEOs talk about stuff like that and give their opinions about stuff like that, then everybody knows who you are. So you can't just make this commercial. Like, where's this coming from?
Right.
Was this AI generated? That's probably a Chat GPT 4.0 version of the perfect American commercial. That's really what it is. That shit didn't have nothing to do with drinking Bud Light either, by the way. That made me want to move to Montana. Like, you want to be in the mountains and see the dust and shit. But that's like the dumbest commercial of all time. But it's so obvious what they're doing. They're trying to, like, they needed to let that sit for a little bit.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have one or two guys on the board going, I don't know if this is a good decision, bro.
I don't think they get to. I think that lady made a decision, and she thought inclusiveness is important, and we're going to open up the brand to new people.
Or is this like an organized crime hit?
The thing is, like, if she didn't make the thing about frat boy culture, if she didn't like kind of disparage, what was her exact quote? See if you can find her exact quote. She didn't disparage the humor of the people that enjoy the product. Like, that is such a crazy move.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is this like an in my head? I go wacky, but
what I'm saying is, like, if she just said, like, everyone can like Bud Light. Like, if that was her and she's like, America is the freedom to be whoever the fuck you want to be.
What did you see?
If that's what they said, I'd be like, okay, great. She was disparaging. She was talking about inclusivity and talking about like the sort of frat culture around Bud Light.
The CEO's name is Brendan Whitworth.
Is that the guy?
I don't know.
There was a woman saying, yeah, so that's a man. So this person was a woman. Unless I'm misgendering them. Jesus Christ. Don't say it. It was a woman for sure. There's videos of her talking about it. There's videos of her talking about why she made the decision to do this. But it's like, you can say that we want other people, like America's freedom, and the freedom to be whoever you want. If you want to be a woman for day 368, that's your freedom too. But if you're doing that and trying to like change who buys the company and dismiss all the other people who buy the beer from the company, that's so dumb. That's like such a silly move.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so weird to me. I instantly always see mob hits.
Yeah,
I see a mob hit just walking in like, your company's done. What do you mean? Fucking done. What do you mean? Bang, bang, bang. Everyone's fucking out. Put on the thing that's going to get rid of their crowd. You don't think you're fucked? You'll never kill us. Oh, really? Let's roll the tape.
Oh, you mean like someone did it to try to kill Bud Light?
Dude, they're fucked. What a great hit.
That would be amazing if Heineken snuck in and did that to them.
Someone came in there. Like, put the transitioning fucking the lady who was a guy.
Like an agent provocateur.
Kill everybody.
Yeah, you have an agent inside the company that tanks the company, and it turns out you're shorting them on the stock market.
Yeah, crushed it, and you're buying shit on the side, and you open up a different company that's really manly.
I love that
You're just moving assets.
Elon Musk and Bill Gates have a little dispute because Bill Gates shorts Tesla.
What?
He shorts it, meaning he banks on Tesla doing poorly. And Elon and him have like a billionaire feud because of this.
Bro, that.
He's petty. I love it. I'm not petty, but I like when people are. I do. I enjoy it. I enjoy when people are petty.
Yeah, like what are two billionaires? What are they upping each other on? Like how do two billionaires
I just think it's
other?
like disrespectful for Bill Gates to short Tesla's position.
That's a gangster move.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Bill Gates.
It's not a wise move because you're not that company's going to kill it. Wait till that goddamn Cybertruck comes out, dude. Let me tell you something. That is the coolest vehicle I've ever seen in person in my life. The Cybertruck from Tesla. It's a stamped steel, electric, all off-road vehicle that's bulletproof. It could stop a .45 round. You can raise and lower the height so you can off-road on this fucking thing. It looks like it's 100 years in the future. When you're standing next to it, is absolutely the coolest looking car I've ever seen. Like, you see it in pictures. Have you ever seen it in pictures?
No.
If you see it in pictures, it looks fucking badass. But if you see it in person, you realize how big this thing is. And then you get in it, it's fucking gorgeous. That's what it looks like. When that thing comes out, you can't make enough of these fucking things. These goddamn things are going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to have a bulletproof car. Like, Bill Gates is making a terrible choice. That's what it looks like. When you see it in real life, you just go, holy fucking shit.
What's the movie when they're what's the famous movie?
Look at that fucking thing. Look at the size of the windshield wiper. That's one giant windshield wiper that goes across the whole screen.
It's like a tank,
bro.
But without the big cannons.
And it goes 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
And it goes out in the, is it like a four, it goes over
100%.
rocks and all of that stuff?
Oh, yeah, it's flat because there's no drivetrain. There's no transmission in the center of the car. So the entire car is flat on the bottom. So even if you have an off-road vehicle, you have axles, right?
Yeah.
And these axles, they protrude, they stick down. And so that like messes with your clearance. That's why the trucks are raised and that's why the tires are bigger. So you can get over, that's because you can get over more shit. What is this?
There's some video of it driving.
Oh, video of it driving. Yeah, I went to visit the Gigafactory, and they had it at the Gigafactory, and they had been off-roading in it, so it was all covered in mud and shit. Dude, it's fucking amazing looking.
And it drives itself, probably?
Oh, yeah, it does everything.
Right?
What's this guy doing? Is he
Trying to test
testing
it, I
it?
think, yeah.
They're testing.
Show you all
Yeah,
our
it drives
concern and
itself.
stuff.
Mine drives itself.
I kind of can't wait for just going, hey, man, bring me to my kid's house today.
It's definitely going to be able to do that in the future.
I just sit in the back. So I'm going to take a nap. Can you wake me up when we get there?
We're probably about 10 years away from that, but it's going to happen. It's going to be everywhere. You can summon your car. Like with Tesla, if it's in a parking lot, you can summon it to you. It'll come to your app.
Is it doing that now?
Yeah, it does it right now.
Wait,
You'll have it. It'll pull out of the parking spot.
come on.
Have you used it?
No.
Yeah, I tried it once. It didn't work.
Oh.
But I
It'll
was in a
come
gravel
out of the-
parking lot.
I watch
Like,
people who do it on
I've seen
YouTube.
I've seen people do it, but I tried.
I don't
it.
even
the
use
one time
the-
I tried it didn't work.
Honestly, I don't even use the auto drive. When they gave us the new beta, I fucked with it for a little bit, but I get uneasy with like
I don't
want to not concentrate. I want
Yeah.
my hands on the wheel and I want to concentrate.
Yeah, there's a guy who also a friend, and he does all electric car stuff around the world. And I remember the first time he got me in one of those Teslas, and he's like, "Look, you can," and he kept turning around. And yes, it was steer, and it
don't
would
do
go
that,
around a
buddy.
curve. Like, oh,
Don't do that,
so I was like,
buddy.
don't
do that.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, I
can't do it.
I've kept it on automatic before and just fucked around and like show people, look, it's driving itself. But
Right.
I'm not that trusting of it.
Me either. I can't.
Also, if people try to go in your lane and it doesn't recognize it, it panics. So it'll like slam, whereas you maybe would just slow down a little and the person would slide into your lane.
Yeah.
It does. It's like there's subtle understanding of like how fast this guy's going, whether this guy doesn't see me or whether they're being aggressive.
Yeah.
Like there's different things you have to do, and you could avoid stuff without slamming on the fucking brakes
Right.
and swerving into the oncoming lane.
My car does that. It'll once in a while, and I don't even have the automatic drive on or nothing like that, or cruise control. It'll be driving, all of a sudden it'll just
It
jolt
hits the brakes.
Dude, yes.
What kind of car is it?
Honda Insight.
We got to get you out of that thing.
I know. Everyone
Jesus
tries to.
Christ.
I don't know if it's like a
What's wrong
dorky
with
thing.
you?
I always drive little shithead cars.
Why do you like them?
I just like fucking. I like trucks.
What kind of trucks?
Like a 150.
Why don't you get yourself a Raptor?
A Raptor.
Yeah. Jim Breuer.
Tell me about
an
the Raptor.
F-150 Raptor.
A Raptor.
Yeah, you know about that?
Tell me
It's a
about it.
high-performance Ford F-150 off-road capable pickup truck that you could take around the street.
Will it
You could,
ride
like, literally, like-
Elon's truck?
Oh, yeah, it could do anything. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, Raptors are super capable. Yeah, you could go Baja fucking racing in one of those things.
Really?
You go off-roading in them.
How
Oh, yeah,
sc-
Raptors, like, from the factory, you could take that bitch off-roading.
What are they
have
gonna hit me
crazy
for it?
capabilities. That's a good question.
What are you
show
gonna hit me
show them
for
what
that?
it looks like. It's not going to be cheap. God damn it, you got that touring money. Let's go. Let's go. You got to spend some of that.
I have all women in my house.
Yeah. So
Well,
you
2 of them
spend
are
it on-
gone.
So that's where it's getting spent?
Well, some of it's coming back. They're out. One, the bank is shut.
Look at this thing. This is a Raptor.
Oh my! Oh damn!
That's probably
See, I need that in Florida right now. I'm Florida.
I don't think that's good.
Well,
The way that hit,
90 feet's a little far.
yeah, the way that hit, I think he blew his fucking car apart.
Bro, I got a little too. You said this thing last that you. It's very funny in your bit, right? But I found myself like, dude, you talking about Florida, bro?
You're like a proud Floridian now.
Yeah, dude. You said I forgot what it was. You're like,
Yeah, I'll tell. Yeah, you'll ruin the bit if I.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna. But do you just mentioned Florida.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in the balcony. I'm like, I'm laughing. Like, did he just fucking... Tomorrow I'm coming with a Texas thing. I want to see what's going on. It was really funny though. But like, yeah, I feel like I need a truck. I like the little bit of the I like the hillbilly thing going on.
Well, if you want a truck that never breaks, get yourself a Toyota. Get yourself like one of those Tacomas. They make great little trucks. If you want a little truck, if you want a bigger truck, get yourself a Tundra. Those fucking things never break, man. There's something about the Toyota's build quality. I know so many people that have Tacomas. They never have a problem with those things. Never. They just drive. They just go.
Everyone says Toyota's if you want a car or a vehicle that's going to last a long time.
Yes.
Do the Toyota.
Yes.
And it took a while with my dad. Because my dad was in Japan, he wouldn't do it. And then finally, I think his last car is a Toyota Camry.
So much of our cars are built overseas anyway.
Yeah, it's
parts
like, who
and
cares?
stuff. It's like the reality is like they build Honda NSXs in Ohio. You know, it wasn't in Ohio.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a Japanese car being made in America. Like there's a world market when it comes to cars. There's not like if you wanted to have a car that's like a really American-made car, Tesla is about as close as you get. And even Tesla, of course, the batteries don't come from America. Like the minerals don't come from America. There's, you want to get an American car, get an old car. That's a real American car. Get a
With a stick shift?
1969 Camaro.
One of them stick shifts or something.
Just driving down the Tallahassee Highway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never was a car guy, man.
I know that's sad. That saddens me.
I know. Matter of fact, it's really sad. My first one was
Look at that.
73
Look at that.
Chevy Nova.
That's the last year of the NSX. They're canceling it.
That's your thing?
Unfortunately. Oh, it's a beautiful car. I've never had one. I had the old one. I had an NSX from 2005, and I had one from like 96. I had two different ones in the past. One with the pop-up headlights and one with the fixed headlights.
And what do
The
you
one I had, those
now?
are like little. There was the one that I had was this cool little silver car. Like they were all aluminum. They were like basically Japan's response to a Ferrari. That's what the NSX was.
What when you were doing stand-up,
Look
what
at
was
that
your
thing.
car?
When I first
Like when you first started, what was your
out,
car?
I had
Yeah.
shit boxes. I had like a Honda Accord. I had like a lot of terrible cars until I got some money. But that car was a fucking marvelous little car. They're worth a lot of money now because people are realizing like how fun they are to drive. It's like a little go-kart, mid-engine. It's not that fast, but it's like really exciting to drive. Very fun to drive.
The cars where I live in Naples, oh my God. I didn't realize how poor I was till I moved to Naples.
Oh really?
There's like,
Oh yeah, that's like all billionaires and shit.
dude,
right?
there's
Rolls Royces.
There's at least 3 Bentleys just in my neighborhood. Do you know how crazy that sounds?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've seen 2 my whole life. There's 3 in the neighborhood. And I'm,
You ever been
and I'm
in one
going
of
by
those?
what Honda Insight.
You ever been in one of those?
Yeah.
They're fucking worth it. Sometimes
You feel like
get
in another
something-
time zone.
You sit in a Rolls Royce, you go, okay, I know why you spent all this money.
Yeah.
You look up, the ceiling is just like this with the stars. Like that is wild, dude. That's wild. But there's something about that level of balling that's uncomfortable for me.
Visit?
Yeah, I don't ball like that. That's too hard. You're balling too hard. It's like
So am I going too soft?
No.
The Honda Insight? It's a
that's
little
why I
soft.
like muscle cars. Muscle cars like you're balling, but muscle cars are like, those are like that's a car that pretty much anybody who saves up money can get a version of a muscle car.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to get a version of a new Ferrari convertible.
Right.
You're not going to get a version. But if you buy a 69 Camaro and you spend a ton of money on it and have it coming out looking cherry with amazing paint and wheels, but another kid also has a 69 Camaro and he's working on it in his garage, like that's an accessible car.
Yeah.
Like his shit could have Bondo on it, it could have, fucking old wheels and tires, but he's fixing things like that's a baller car. That's like an accessible car.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm never going to. I can't even. I'm not going to be fucking baller. I don't know if I can ever be a baller.
on,
if
Jimmy.
I had a baller, you know what I really want? You know what I got into?
Look at that one. Look at that.
Mustang Super Snake.
Yeah.
The Hummers.
Mustang Super Snakes. That's the convertible. Look at that.
825 horsepower.
God damn, look at that thing.
See, I don't.
That doesn't get your dick hard?
No.
Hardtop.
What? What's wrong with you? Go
I
back
want
to
something
that.
like a Hummer.
Go back to that convertible. That convertible excites me.
Does it?
Yeah, I had a Shelby GT500 convertible.
I don't even know what that is.
I fucking loved it. I loved it. It was like a 2011, I think I had, or 12. I had a Shelby GT500 convertible. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. It was so crude and so loud and so silly. Like anytime you wanted, when you're making a turn, you stomp on the gas, the ass end kicks out. I was like, this car's so ridiculous. It was so fun. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It wasn't like the fastest 0 to 60. It didn't handle the best. It was just so much fun. The roar of the engine, I think it's like 500. Yeah, that's what I had. I think it was like no, I had the model right before that. I had the model before that. That was 2022. I had a 2011, I think I had. I loved it. Yeah, it looked like that. Fucking loved it. It was so much fun. It was like, you know, it wasn't the best built car, but it wasn't that expensive either. It's like they're like, there's something about it's like you're in a thrill ride.
Yeah.
Like you're not driving. Every time you're heading on the gas, like the top is down, right? So you hear everything. So you hear the blah, 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 blah. You stomping on the gas, the wind's in your face. Ah! It was so much fun.
This is great.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. But it's too much
We're
for me.
an American band.
I like playing that.
We're coming to your town. We'll help your body down. We're an American band. You're fucking on the highway, Jim Breuer.
Right. And I'm next to you in the Honda Insight blasting fucking Metallica.
There it is.
No remorse. No regret.
Come on, man. I want you to picture yourself, Jim Breuer.
I want a Hummer.
You know, I want you in a red convertible. Buy a 2012. You can still get them. And people have them and they're low mileage.
I like
this
being
is
higher.
You, on the highway. Come on, son. The music is blaring. The wind's got your hair flowing. Woo! Maybe out of 20-ounce Starbucks.
I need.
Now he's trying to sell you on a new Corvette. Those are great too, but I like you as more of like a 2012 Shelby GT500.
What about
stick shift?
I like the tank thing.
A tank.
No,
Oh, like
what,
the Elon tank?
Yeah, like I was a Hummer guy. I
That's
wanted
it.
a Hummer. I know it was corny, but I loved it.
We're an American band. That car right there, that's you. We're an American band.
Maybe not
Red, white stripes.
Flaps. Flaps.
Fuck yeah, flaps.
Flaps.
Give the man some flaps. But that red one, the red convertible. Click on that red convertible. That's the shit. Right there, bro. That's you.
See now that
Loud, raunchy engine.
listen.
You're at a red light and you just hear it. And it just goes, come on, daddy, let's go. Let's go, daddy.
I was in that for like a very short period.
I love that car. I'm going to go buy one. As soon as the show's over. I miss mine.
I want to be you when I grow up.
That's what a car was, like one of the most fun cars I ever
See
owned.
now I'm excited.
A Hummer?
Yes.
We're an American band.
I like being higher.
I get it. Oh, well, you should see my truck.
Yeah,
I have a TRX.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Hennessy. It has 1,000 horsepower.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's the most preposterous truck ever. You would love it. You're way above everything.
Yeah, no, I
have this
love
view of the high. The good thing about that is you see trouble ahead. Like if you're in a little car, like a low car, the problem is like sometimes shit's happening ahead of you and you don't know why everybody's going to hit the brakes. So you don't see it until like a second or two after someone w's higher up gets a view of it. That's it. Look at that motherfucker.
Yes.
That's
why the little cars freak me out.
Yeah, I love driving that thing. It's like driving a tank.
And
it's also I don't know.
Oh my!
But you know, it's one of those. Post Malone has one like that, like the double rear wheels, like just to carry around his money. He just stacks gold in the back of it like a leprechaun, and drives around.
Was he on here?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that dude.
I saw him on concert.
He's very fun dude. We did mushrooms. We did the whole podcast on mushrooms.
Did he really?
Yeah,
He loves music.
Yeah. Oh,
he
he's
loves
amazing.
like playing music and learning guitar and
amazing
right?
guy, super talented, creative individual.
Yeah,
very unusual person. and really fun. He's really fun to talk to.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about?
I have no clue.
The
The trucks.
Yeah, or just get yourself a Raptor. This is like a Raptor's a little less crazy, but it's still very big, and it's like super capable, and it's comfortable because they have a lot of travel, like on the shocks, because you off-road in them. It makes driving on the road very comfortable.
Joe, I'm at the point in life where I'm like I can literally live in the middle of nowhere, I think, and just disappear for a year or two. I don't know, but that's where I feel like I'm at times. So I just need a truck. I don't need a fast car. Maybe like a truck, and that's that. But I'm close.
That's why you want a Raptor.
You don't never get those feelings yet.
What, the want to go away from
just like,
feelings?
dude, fucking out.
Yeah. Well, you know what we were talking about before when you're talking about like the hunter-gatherer people and people. I go hunting every year, and that's to me like it's a big reset. When I go like in the mountains of Utah, when I'm there for a week, it's like it's a big reset. And it's also, man, you're in the real wild. Like when we were there, I guess it was 2 years ago that I saw that cat. Was it 2 years? It wasn't this year. It was the year before that, right? I saw a giant cat. It was so big, dude. It was under a tree. My friend Colton spotted it. We were driving. He was driving, and we were taking this dirt road, and we go through this creek, and we're going up this little hill, and he stops on the brakes real quick, and he goes, "Look at that fucking lion." And I look, and I just see these glowing eyes that are underneath this tree. And the headlights, it was just getting dusk out, and the headlights were catching his eyes, and his eyes were glowing. Bro, it was huge. He had this big old fucking pumpkin head and these giant forearms, and he's sitting there. This was a full-grown Tom mountain lion. It was a real big male, like a 180, 190-pound cat, like that. It was that big. It was so crazy. I'd seen them before, but the ones I'd seen before were like little ones. I saw like a 60-pounder maybe or a 70-pounder running across the street in Montecito in Santa Barbara. I was just driving, and I saw this thing run across the street, and then I saw his tail. I was like, oh, shit, that's a mountain lion.
So what do you do? So what do you do when you see this thing staring at you? Like,
well, we were in a truck. Luckily,
okay.
We were in a truck.
Okay,
but dude, I pulled up my binoculars from the truck because it was about 30 yards away from us. I pulled up my binoculars in the truck, and I was freaking out. Just closed in on this thing, this fucking killing machine. Dude, I'd never seen one that close before in the wild. It's terrifying. Any illusions you have of escape or fighting it off, they go. Your brain does all these calculations. Like maybe I can fucking no. And it's just all that shit is gone. All that shit is so out the window when you actually see one. Like you just melt. You're like, oh my god, I'm putty. I'm a water balloon. It's just gonna scratch me apart. They're so big, dude, and so scary. Like you really have to be careful and or have a gun. Because if there's a moment, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, where people get got every year. People get got. The joggers and hikers, they get got. Those motherfuckers will eat you.
And there's nothing you can do. They hit you, you're out. Dude, they're dragging you up the hill.
They'll grab a hold of your neck and you'll never get them off. They'll just kill you. You don't understand how much force. That thing is killing bull moose. It's jumping on the back of a moose and killing it. Like
bringing it
you
down.
You got to understand, this is a super predator that lives amongst us. And in California, they're like, we have to protect them. We have to protect them. We have to keep them alive.
Until it eats your cat.
Yeah.
Or your dog.
Well, they eat mostly cats and dogs. Yeah. They did a study of them in San Francisco, and all the ones that they had deprivation. Is it depredation or depredation, right? Depredation. I think it's depredatorizing or something like that. But when a predator is a problem, they get a depredation permit, and then they have to take it out. And when they take them out, they were doing studies on the stomach contents. And it's 50% cats and dogs.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, it makes sense. Easy prey. They're just sitting in the backyard. They're in the front. Yeah. You let your dog out to pee, and the next thing you know, it's, Benson?
Yeah. Yeah. It happened to a buddy of mine recently with coyotes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You ever see those videos?
I have, unfortunately.
I know. I watch those too.
The scary ones are when wolves get a dog, like a chained up dog.
Chained up. and there's nothing. And you see the dog knows he's fucked.
The dog knows he's fucked.
He knows he's
chained
fucked.
up. He
He's
can't even
chained
run
up.
away.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they'll pull him right from the chain.
They tear him apart.
Yeah,
It's
horrifying.
Yeah.
But that's your, not the horrifying, but that's your peace. That's your going away. I'm learning that from hunters, where a lot of the hunters, I shouldn't say a lot, like the ones that I know, it's not so much the hunt. I mean, yes, it's the hunt, but it's also being out there in nature, in the wild, just you and nature. And that just completely reboots everything about you.
Yeah, that's certainly a part of it. There's a lot of things going on out there. It's also like there's a connection to the actual cycle of life. Like you'll stumble upon a dead animal that has been torn apart by something.
Right.
We were in British Columbia once, and we stumbled upon this cow moose, or this calf rather, that had been torn apart by wolves. And it's just all hair and bones. It's just wild.
Yeah, you see that's another reason why I like going to Africa, on a safari, I love it snaps you back into reality.
Yeah.
This is true life. This is true nature.
Yeah.
And
We've created something really weird with cities. And
weird.
Because we're so adaptable, because people are so adaptable, we've adapted to city life, and it is so unsustainable. It's such a weird way to live, because you can't get your food that way. The food has to be shipped in every day, constantly. There's no, the real way to live is to live around your food. That's the way to live. The real way to live is to live real close by to your food.
Yeah.
When everything is getting shipped in, and it has to go up an elevator to get to the 50th floor where you live.
Well, you got some banana like me when I was 18 and I was shipping produce, and then you got cherry tomatoes on top, and I'm stoned out of my bird.
And you're eating the cherry tomatoes?
No, I'm eating the cherry tomatoes, and the guy's like, now listen, when you go down the stairs, if you feel the thing going, I remember, I'm pretty sure it was a fucking mobster restaurant. I know it was. And he's like, listen, this is the guy's father. He's like, so he loves his cherry tomatoes? No fucking prop, dude. I made on the truck maybe 2 steps. And
oh, no.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I'll go distract him, and you pick that shit up, fucking clean up. But
Jesus Christ.
But the point is, you couldn't pay me. This is just me. I mean, you were talking last night, like, Jim, she moved to Austin. I don't think I can ever live near a city again, bro.
So do you want to live on a ranch? Is that what the ultimate?
Love to be on a ranch.
Why don't you get yourself a Texas ranch, Jim Breuer? Start raising livestock.
I would love to do that.
I'll start raising livestock.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah. I'm
trying
a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
You got to hire somebody.
Yes.
Hire somebody to manage.
I know I'm not going to do it. Someone has to do it.
Yeah, there's real work involved in running a ranch. I have some friends who own ranches, and it's like, ooh, this is like an operation.
Yeah, man. That's an all-day, all-night event.
Mm-hmm.
You're on guard 24/7. Something's going on, on the cattle, or you got an issue with the coyote or the whatever. Something's always going on. What's going on with all the chickens? Why are they dying? I don't know. Are they diseased?
Yeah, this dude that I met recently in South Texas, they found a dead migrant on his property. Yeah, some guy is.
You knew them?
Yeah, I know the guy that owns the ranch.
Really?
Yeah, they found a dead migrant.
What do you think he died of?
They don't know. I don't know what the autopsy results were, but most likely they die of either they run out of water and it's the heat. Maybe they die of a heat stroke because they get lost. These are enormous ranches. You're talking about tens of thousands of acres.
Oh,
some
wow.
of these ranches, and they're all connected. It's they're about 40 minutes, 50 minutes drive from Mexico. And so these poor guys, this guy just wandered and found his way onto this ranch, and apparently couldn't find water.
Just couldn't find water, and that was
heat stroke. Sometimes with heat stroke, what happens with people is it happened to this UFC fighter, Evan Tanner. He was this really interesting guy who he went on a walkabout. He would go on these nature retreats to try to find himself. He was really into meditating. Very interesting guy. And he did it in Death Valley, and he couldn't find his water. He just he got disoriented, and he wound up dying of heat stroke.
Yeah, I don't have desires desert walking and stuff like
Bro,
that.
that's
scary.
Very dangerous.
Yeah,
because
man.
That temperature gets up to like, what does Death Valley get up to?
The hottest ever.
Yeah, what
The hottest place on earth.
It's the hottest place on earth. I
100
think,
and what?
I think it gets like way over 120, which is wild.
I was in Arizona.
134 is the highest recorded.
How much?
134. 134. Do you know what 134 degrees must feel like when you go outside?
No.
That's a literal sauna.
Yes. You know how it burns your lungs when you first go in the sauna?
That is insane.
Yeah, that's...
134 degrees is so fucking hot. That was in 1913. Well, how good were their fucking thermometers back then? That's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, we believe in that. And you gonna trust the time on a 1913 watch?
My apologies, it was 103.
Yeah, how the fuck do you know? Bitch, stop lying. You read out of Mercury. Just Valley just recorded the hottest temperature on Earth, 130 degrees. Wow. When was that? 2020? 130 degrees is so insane. That's so fucking hot.
My hot tub goes up to 105 and I can't do it. 104, 105, I'm done.
I guess what happens
Pass it
when
out.
people are out there doing that, I think they get disoriented and they don't know what's going on. They don't know where they went. They're just their brain. They're so overheated that they literally can't think straight. You can't think straight, and then you're fucked. It's like your brain just gets so hot, it's just not working anymore.
So did you have a ranch at one time? Do you have a ranch out here?
No, I've never had a ranch.
Never had a ranch.
But I want one.
You
I've
want one
thought
too?
about doing one. Yeah. Well, what I've thought about is making a podcast ranch. I thought about buying a ranch and putting a studio on the ranch and have a bunch of cool shit we could do on the ranch. Like have a lake where you can go fishing and, you know, have some fun. Have like a little concert area so like friends can come by. We can play concerts and shit.
That's a cool
It'd
idea.
be fun, just for fun.
That is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I say you invest in that immediately.
Yes, I'm thinking about it. It needs a
I'm
landing
learning how to
strip.
play guitar, Joe.
We need a landing strip.
Need a landing strip. You
We need a small airport. Yeah.
That's
a ranch
hilarious.
with a small airport.
Yeah.
And rocket launchers. We're going to need some rocket launchers.
Yeah. The
We're gonna
people
need
you're
some,
starting to
like,
roll with, you're definitely going to need
heavy ordnance. We're going to need some shit we could just... Things that you could blow up large things with.
I just
Like,
need like a wiffle ball field. Can we would
take
you
people
build
out
a
for
wiffle ball
target
field?
practice. That would be very fun. Take some old cars out and just annihilate them.
That would be fun.
Boom.
Toss
Have you
some
ever
grenades?
seen videos of people using tannerite?
No.
You know what tannerite is?
No.
It's an explosive it's not hard to get. Like a lot of people have it. And tannerite, I don't know what the laws are on it, but they'll put it like in a refrigerator and then shoot it from a distance and it blows up. And when it blows up, dude, there's a video of this fucking guy. He sets it up in a refrigerator and shoots it and it blows up and the refrigerator door comes flying past him, like just misses him.
And how far away is he?
40 yards, 50 yards, something like that. You know that video,
Pretty
Jamie?
sure this is it. Right?
Yeah, maybe more than, no, that's like 100
dang,
yards.
That's far.
Watch
that ain't
this.
40 yards.
Watch this. Maybe that's 100 yards probably. Watch this.
Oh my God.
Bro, what a
What is that stuff?
tannerite. How crazy is that? Watch this again. So he shoots it, watch the door, and think, and just think to yourself, what do you do here? Because
And even how heavy that door is.
yeah, you're not getting away from that. Watch this.
Wow.
Bro, that guy was so slow to react, he would have been a
He might
dead
have been really
man.
stoned or something.
He would have been a dead man. I mean, look how fast that door's coming at him.
I think the tree would have protected him in any way.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
for sure. But he probably still would have got fucked up by shrapnel.
Let's see how fast it. Let's see.
Watch this.
So 1, 2. He had 2 seconds, like a second and a half to react to that.
How about the fact that the door bows like a sail?
It just
There's so
takes
much
off.
force behind it, it bends like a sail. Did you see that? Show it
Yeah.
again. Watch how when it comes out, like the door is like, like look at the way the door bends as it passes by him. This guy's such a psycho. Watch this.
Oh my
See how
God!
it
Yeah, you're right.
bends?
it just completely bent out
like this.
Had its
like,
own little nose. It looked like the nose of a plane.
There was so much force, the fucking door folded over like a paper cup. What a psycho.
See, but
actually, I'm looking at that. I think that's about 50 yards. Dude, look at that thing. Look at that thing. That guy was so not getting out of the way. he was taking that in the mug.
No, he wasn't. So are we gonna be able to do stuff like this?
Yes, but different.
A little different?
Yeah, we're not gonna use refrigerator doors.
Right.
We're gonna do something wise. That's
like
not
what?
Wise.
What can we do?
Something that blows up that's not gonna hurt you. From a nice distance, we're gonna have to develop some sort of concrete wall system.
That would be something kind of funny too, like big
turrets. Where you're like looking through the concrete wall of a turret, and then you're blowing shit up on the other side of a lake or something.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah.
As long as it doesn't litter. Gotta make sure we're not littering.
Yeah. Crew, clean that shit up. Clean that shit up.
A tank shell does to a human body.
Oh, don't show me this. Don't show me this.
That's already destroyed.
What is that?
That's a human body.
152 millimeter shell versus a body. I mean, it's not a real body, obviously.
Oh my gosh.
Bro. You just vaporize.
Yeah.
Maybe stem cells can fix that. There have been people in the world, I'm sure, that got hit by a tank.
Yeah.
I'm not just like, they're not like only shooting buildings with those things.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
I saw
people
a video
do.
in Ukraine recently where they just blew it right into a foxhole. There's 3 dudes right there, and it seemed like everything vaporized. But I don't know if they hit him or not.
See what blows? What I don't understand. Listen, I don't get involved with all the Ukraine stuff, but what I understand is, at this day and age, still, like, are they really doing ground army? When you have the technology just to tap a computer and just send, like, are we really on the ground and moving with tanks and stuff? That blows my mind.
Well, they're trying to overtake a very specific piece of land, and that's the way they're doing it. They're using tanks. The whole thing is very spooky. It's so spooky that that's happening right now on Earth. And Russia is invading Ukraine and they're using tanks and drones. And what is that, Jamie?
Drone dropped a grenade inside of a tank hole.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So did you see that? Like the tank hole, the port was open on the top.
Yeah.
And it just dropped it right in there. That is so insane. Watch this. Dude.
The drone videos are crazy. There's a lot of crazy videos, to be honest.
Well, what's really crazy is this is like the Bill Hicks joke. Remember when Bill Hicks joke? Like he said, he was doing about, the different shit the Army had to work with.
Yeah.
Because they had all these toys. And like, pull up G12. Like, pull up G12. And it's
Yep.
Whoa, what's G13 do? Remember that bit?
Yeah. And then literally how I see this is like, hey, these guys said something about your sister.
Russian soldier reaches for his rifle to shoot down the drone.
Should have done that. Let's get bad.
Oh boy. So it just gets over him and nukes him?
It drops 4 grenades on him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's over there on the left.
Oh my God.
Yeah, these videos.
Oh my God, in a foxhole. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. All right, I don't need to say this.
But those videos are wild.
See, this is what's crazy to me. That we know this is happening, but this is the first time we've ever seen like social media footage from people's cell phones of war. I watched a Russian guy go into a foxhole that had these 2 Ukrainian guys in it. And the Ukrainian guy reached for his gun and the guy shot both of them in the head. And it's like close range cell phone footage. It's like,
Well, what supposedly started it?
what started the war? Russia's invading Ukraine.
Now, some people say that, but there's others that say that because they're UN and they've been the most corrupt country in the world,
video,
blah, blah,
Jamie.
blah.
That's the video. Don't show me that again.
And then
the
U.S. with the biological weapons, and Russia kept saying, hey, man, You're getting closer and closer with your shit. We keep telling you, please don't do this. I don't know what's a fact and what's not, but there is that side of people saying that.
Well, both are true. So both things are true. So one thing that's true is that what they have been doing is moving arms closer. NATO's been moving arms closer to Russia, right?
So it's like me coming to you and I say, Joe, and you go, Breuer, don't fucking come another step.
Where did NATO move arms
your shit
closer to Russia where it was a real issue? So there's been a lot of.
But what about the biological weapons?
What I was going to say is there's been a lot of discussion about doing this from the beginning. There was a guy who was on the Colbert Show in it was the early 2000 teens, and he had a book, and he was describing in this book how Ukraine is essentially Robin and Russia is Batman, and about we want to lure Robin away from Batman, and we want to get Robin to join NATO, and we want to get Robin to join our side. And this guy's explaining this on television in a book, this plan that they had. So in trying to get further and further control close to Ukraine, Russia felt like that was an attack on them. That was provoking them. They felt like it would be how we would feel if China started putting nuclear missiles in Cuba. We have a new Cuban Missile Crisis.
Or in Canada.
Or in Canada. Very similar.
How would we react?
So both those things are true. And then Russia really did invade Ukraine, and this is horrific, and they're shooting missiles into apartment buildings, and all that stuff's true too. So there's both sides that are true. It's like it seems like there were some strategic things that were being done that Russia felt was very threatening. Do we know what they did, what NATO did in terms of moving arms closer to Russia?
What about the bioweapons that supposedly America had there, and they tried to say no, and then when it was brought up, they openly admitted, yes, we have biological weapons in Ukraine.
Do they call it biological weapons, or do they call it? What do they call it?
I don't know. It was biological, whatever.
Right, some biolab.
Some biolab, whatever.
Yeah, that's what everybody wonders. When you talk about biolabs, how much of that is how much of this is military applications?
Right.
How much of this stuff is it 0%? I don't think it's 0%. I'm sure they must work on some things because I know that other countries work on things. I interviewed a guy back in the day who worked for the Soviet Union, and he had defected, and it was for this sci-fi show, and he was explaining to me how they have giant supplies of anthrax. And their biological weapons program was very robust. They have a real biological weapons program filled with shit that could kill everybody.
But my issue is
there was something about that.
Yeah.
According to what I've researched,
the New York Times says it's unfounded. Let's just move away.
Let's
just move on to the next subject.
So, but that's what I'm saying. If they lied to you, you caught them lying. Why do we believe anything we're seeing?
Yeah, but do we know, though?
That's what I'm saying.
But the problem is we don't know either. It's like weapons of mass destruction, right, in Iraq.
Right.
In the beginning, everybody thought that was what was really going on, and that we were going in there to stop this from happening because we realized, this guy is funding terrorism, and he's got weapons of mass destruction. He's going to kill us all. But it turns out to not be true at all.
Yeah,
right?
but the people that pushed that narrative knew it wasn't true.
Yeah, well,
and they funded it very well, and a lot of people got murdered, innocent people that still come back with no legs. They don't get funded, and they're watching, Trans Guy of the Year, and they're special, and their legs got blown off for a cause, and they're sitting there in a fucking van that drives them around electrical. Yeah. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
It's fucked up that no one's held accountable for that. That's
no one's
crazy.
held accountable. So why am I going to believe everything they're telling me about Russia and Ukraine? And why even this is what drives me nuts about humanity's better. You're a fucking leader. There's so many leaders that are just regular people now. Why do you need government or your officials telling you where you're going to fight? If someone came in here right now and they said, Joe, you need to come across the street and fight, you just going to go fight? No, you're going to go, whoa. The fuck am I doing? Don't worry about what we're doing. We're going to tell you what to do. Haven't they failed enough with lying and getting us into these positions? If regular people talk to one, I guarantee if you did a fucking podcast with real humans in Russia, real humans in Ukraine, real humans everywhere, the people in control get scared real fucking quick because they'll see we all have a deeper connection. We want to be with one another.
Yeah, we're not in dispute. The leaders are in dispute, and they drag the people into it. And they're playing some geo chess game, what they've always done.
Why are our lives at stake?
What is the NATO thing? We need to discuss that. What did they do? What are they being accused of doing? It's like, because I don't want to make a false statement.
I mean, I don't know exactly.
But either way,
I don't know where I'm going to find
NATO inches closer to Russia's border. Okay, so what have they done here? I just want to know that we're being accurate, because this is not my field of expertise.
And I have no clue. I don't want to close all avenues that I've heard.
But I do believe that there was NATO. Okay, here it was. Putin's goal of preventing NATO expansion essentially backfired when Finland and Sweden were motivated by the invasion of Ukraine to apply to join the military bloc. Currently, 5 NATO members, so NATO already border Russia or the Russian border. Norway, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, and Poland already border Russia or the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad. Meanwhile, Finland shares an 830-mile border with Russia, so Russia's border with NATO would more than double if Finland attains membership of the alliance. So Finland was joining NATO as well. So more of these people were joining NATO, and they were... What were they doing in terms of having arms? Russia implements border control of traffic moving from Russia into Finland, thus preventing attempts at illegal entry. If Russia reduces its border control, this may cause additional pressure at the Finnish end to control illegal entry. So they're trying to stop people from escaping. Finland cannot rely on the effectiveness of Russian border control. So people are just were streaming into Finland, I bet.
Yeah.
And Poland, right?
Well, then, when this happened, then too, a lot of people left Ukraine and they banned all men from leaving because they had to stay and fight.
Is NATO? Were they saying that NATO had arms that they were moving closer to the Russian border as well? Like when someone joins NATO, or is it just that since that army is now in NATO? How do they? What was the dispute in terms of that? It seems like if I was Putin and everyone's joining the opposition right next to me, I would also get concerned.
I start bugging out.
It doesn't justify what the guy did. What he did is absolutely horrific. But
find a well-written essay from both sides to get.
They're all creepers. Yeah. The whole thing's creepy.
But
it's great to join NATO. It's great if we're all aligned. It's great, and if we just want world peace, if that's our goal. But is that really what's going on?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the time
I know.
that
we're all
changes.
Dragged into this.
And I'm not anti-government, but I'm anti-lying.
Yeah.
And they've lied long enough, and it's cost people's lives. Do you want your there's no reason why humanity. We have the microphones. We had to be able to start talking to one another. Without the leaders could sit there and listen, but if their interest is as far as the humans that are occupying that they say they're there to take care of, they need to hear what we want.
But what we don't want
out
is
of it.
World leaders putting everyone's lives in danger.
That's what I'm saying.
Which they've always done, and they're doing right now.
This might describe Russia's.
So why are they still I don't understand. Is that the spook of January 6th? Or they're going to catch on to what? Everyone needs to be held responsible who's pushing for complete madness.
Okay, so this is what Russia's fear. Okay, according to Stephen Kotkin, excuse me. That's Kotkin, professor of Russian history at Princeton University. Putin believes that Russia rightfully deserves a sphere of influence in its near abroad. To Putin, Ukraine is not a state because it's not sovereign. Small or weak states are only instruments in the hands of the great powers. Where we see Moscow's aggression, Putin sees defense. If Russia cannot control Ukraine, then the West will. Thus, countries like Ukraine become platforms for invasion. And then the West will dismember Russia as the USSR was dismembered. The way of thinking Russia goes back to the czars. Russia has no natural borders on its periphery, and Stalin believed that without hegemony in Eastern Europe, he would be subject to infiltration and subversion. but the peoples of Eastern Europe did not want to be forced to live under communism, and thus arose the very hostility Stalin feared. Interesting. So it was all about controlling the borders in the beginning, and that's what they were worried about. That's okay. They're all creepers. They're all like making moves on each other. They're all stealing oil, blowing up pipelines. They're all creepers.
They're all
on every
creepers.
side.
They're
all creepers.
Everywhere.
Yeah. The Chinese are doing it the most clever because they go to places and just take over like mining.
Dude, they're all over Africa. Every time I
Yeah.
go to Africa, I'd ask them, like, what's it been to, like, the Chinese? The Chinese. They're buying everything.
How's the food, though? They got good Chinese food in Africa?
I haven't had the Chinese food in Africa
I
yet.
wonder. Imagine if like there's like a thriving. It's like LA with Mexican food. It's the best fucking Mexican food I've ever had, other than being in Mexico. That's 2 arrested for operating illegal overseas police station. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, it's just in New
Yeah.
York?
In New York, yeah.
Wait, explain
across
this.
the country.
Yeah, they have illegal Chinese police stations where they bust people for doing things that China thinks are crimes.
Wait, but are they busting Chinese
Yeah.
people or
They're busting
or
people
Americans?
from China that
From
are
China.
living in America. I don't know what the citizenship is, but I think that what they're doing is operating as a police force for the Chinese government in America.
How do you...
Defendants are New York City residents who allegedly operated the police station in Lower Manhattan and destroyed evidence when confronted by the FBI. So these guys, they had their own little police station. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't tell the U.S. that
They were
doing
charged
it.
with opening and operating a legal overseas police station located in Lower Manhattan, New York, for a provincial branch of the Ministry of Public Security of the People's Republic of China. Harry Lu Jingwiang, 61 of the Bronx, and Chon Jinping, 59 of Manhattan, were arrested early this morning at their homes in New York City. Their initial appearances are scheduled this afternoon in Brooklyn before the U.S. Magistrate Judge E. Ramon E. Reyes Jr. Interesting that this is like such a big crime, but you could stab someone, they'll let you out the next day.
Right.
Like,
You can loot a store,
you get let out the next day.
stab,
Like,
shoot a guy,
but this,
rape.
Operating as a police force, for the People's Republic of China, it's like, you can't do that, bro. What were they catching people doing, and what would be the consequences? Do we know that yet?
Like
That's
going
kinda
to a ball
interesting.
game.
I don't
No, but
think
if they
that's been
caught
public
people, do
yet.
they like ship them back to China?
Oh,
do
what
they have a
happens
jail?
when they get? Yeah,
What if they have a jail? What if they have the
probably-
creepiest jail ever in
know
New
they
York
do.
City? Oh my God, they must have a jail.
Of course they do.
Do
It's
they
probably,
have a jail?
You probably got to go on the subway and then down the subway rail and then
Oh,
open
dude,
a door.
it's like where the rats live.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pitch black.
Oh.
And you hear things moving in the water. Like you hear little drips and then you hear like a
Did
little
you hear about
splash.
that prisoner in Georgia that got eaten alive
What?
by bed bugs?
No.
Yeah.
What?
This dude wound up, he was in such an infested cell that, and this is in America.
Oh, this is a prison.
This is in America. Yeah, America. This guy gets eaten alive by bed bugs.
How's that possible? I don't understand what they...
He was just covered in sores. They just like attacked his whole body. He's like
So it's a
lying
period
there.
of time. See, in my head, I think it had
Yeah,
happened
he's like-
overnight. So
I
this
think
is a
he's in-
period of time.
I don't know how. I think he's in solitary, and I think they keep them in inhumane conditions. And this guy was just covered in sores. Did you find that other story?
Georgia inmate
Eaten alive by bugs in filthy cell.
Claims.
How crazy is this?
What did he do?
I don't know.
Simple battery.
Simple
Misdemeanor.
battery. Oh my God.
3 months later, he was found dead.
He was 3 months. Okay. So simple battery. I don't know what happened.
He punched the wrong dude, man.
I don't know what happened. So we don't know what happened there, right?
we don't.
Maybe it was
Could have been anything.
maybe it was the other person's fault, right?
Could be anything.
So 3 months later, Mr. Thompson was found dead in a filthy jail cell after being eaten alive by insects and bed bugs, Harper said. When his body was found, one of the detention officers refused to administer CPR because, in her words, she freaked out. The jail cell Mr. Thompson was housed in was not fit for a diseased animal. He did not deserve this. Disturbing photographs attached to Harper's statement show Thompson's cell, which is covered in dirt and strewn with debris. One image also shows Thompson's bony body with defibrillator pads on his chest, which is covered in what appear to be small insect bites. Do they have the images?
See it? Yeah. You gotta see the image.
So there's his cell. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God! Look at that fucking toilet too.
Oh, damn.
This is so bad. Look at his body.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God,
Oh,
dude. Oh my God.
Dude, that's
Oh
like
my God.
everything bagel looking thing.
That's insane. He was eaten alive by bugs. That's crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's gnarly.
That's in America.
Yeah.
That's in America for simple battery.
Yeah. Everyone thinks everything's perfect and amazing. Now,
Holy
yes,
shit.
it can be.
Like, who is monitoring the jail cells? I mean, they go to fucking restaurants and make sure that the conditions are, they give them an A. Do they do that with jails?
Who's monitoring?
This jail gets an F.
He comes
That
in.
guy died from bed bugs. You get an F.
Say, sorry.
Yeah, what do they do?
Whoops. Sorry about that.
That's what Epstein was complaining about before he died.
Bed bugs?
Rats crawling all over his
Of
cell. He
course.
said it was like, in horrid conditions.
Bro.
I think they were flooded.
But he had to know the end was near.
That guy?
Epstein.
Oh, Epstein. I don't know what the deal is there.
Thank God they don't release that client list.
What's up with that?
I mean, why would you release it?
I
I'm
got-
glad the wiser heads prevailed.
Why do you think? What? You saw the list, right?
I don't know if it was the list.
Correct. You saw the supposed
Yeah.
list.
I mean, someone must know.
It bugged me out.
It's crazy.
It bugged me out.
Look, it
broke my heart.
It seems like it was for sure some sort of intelligence operation that compromised people. That seems like it for sure. And it seems like celebrities, that people think that celebrities were over there to do horrible stuff. Maybe they were.
Right.
Or also, maybe they got kind of swindled into doing this thing because all these other celebrities were doing it and all these scientists were doing it. One of the things that it seems to me that if you can get a bunch of people that are really famous to go to a place and, say, hey, like, have you ever been invited to something and they'll tell you, oh, such and such is coming as well?
Sure.
They'll tell you that a famous person is coming.
Sure.
So that it makes you want to go. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
the conference has that guy? Oh. Right? So I guarantee you that's why they had celebrities there too. They had celebrities because if you can get like Brad Pitt to go there, then all of a sudden like it's okay to go there.
Yes.
You think it's fine.
The only thing is they say they have video footage.
Right.
So if that's the deal, like,
Right.
I
So
just
here's
know
the
if I was
question.
on there, I'd be like, yo,
Who do they have video? Like, do
Like,
they
who
have
they got video
video
on?
footage of people having sex with underage people? Do they have video of people? What do they have video of?
what they have video of?
Yeah.
Like, are they still making deals, plea deals? Is that
Has
even
anybody
going on?
that like did that on the island talked about it? Any like girls who were forced? They would have to be terrified of their lives.
Without
Do you
a doubt.
imagine you
No.
were. Let's just imagine
No.
that there were just adult prostitutes, and you're taking care of lizard people on an island in the middle of the Bahamas. Like, you gotta shut the fuck. They will kill you. They probably kill one in front of everybody just to show them. Like,
Well-
this is what happens if you open your fucking mouth. They just hack some lady's head off, chop her arms off.
I'm all invested in it. People think, why doesn't anyone say anything? When they can find you anywhere, at least they'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And like you said, they can stand right in front of, hey, man, you're going to have a great time. We're going to bang some kids. It's going to be awesome. We're going to videotape. And if you say anything, oh, my God.
Yeah. Just
That's
kill
what
somebody in
happens.
front of you.
Boom. Done. Right
That's
to
all
the
they
floor.
would have to do.
You're like, okay, let's
Yeah.
get to it and get done with this as quick as possible. I
Yeah.
pray to God that's not one down.
I mean,
but it's weird.
it's very weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah. It's
If you saw your name on there, right? If you
Yeah.
saw your name on there,
yeah.
wouldn't you be barking? Well, I guess there's two ways. There's two ways to look at it. It's like if I just ignore it, hopefully it'll go away, because you can't tell me every name that was on there. Somebody let them know. There's someone in their
someone
circle.
had to know something was going on. But do you think that they knew like what the whole thing was? Because I think there was a lot of scientists that genuinely thought that this was a way to get this guy to donate money. And, he would donate a little money here and there and for these projects. And also, these famous rich scientists would go have this lovely vacation. So then if you get like actors and then you got scientists and then you get a few politicians in there, it like seems like just a cool kids club.
We've been there.
It seems fine.
Yeah, been there, done that to a degree.
And the fact that that's how they made this whole thing take place is really fascinating because it's so brilliant. It really is like some spy shit, and that's what it is. It's like they compromised people.
And it's been going on forever.
Yeah,
forever, dude.
It's got to be going on right now still.
100%, but
it's got to be happening somewhere where you can get away with it.
Well, I mean, even in the Disney film in Pinocchio, it's unbelievable the pub scene.
What are you talking about? The new one?
No,
the old one.
Yeah, in Pinocchio.
I think there's a new Pinocchio. That's
there is. Like Tom Hanks is in it.
Yeah, it became in the public domain, so anybody could make a Pinocchio movie now.
Oh, how creepy!
That is creepy. So when did the first Pinocchio come out?
Oh my God, it was probably like the fucking 40s.
Okay, look up the pub scene. The pub scene in Pinocchio. And you'll remember this when you saw it as a kid. It gave you a creepy feeling in your belly.
Let's see it. Pub scene in Pinocchio.
He talks about bringing the boys to Pleasure Island, and then he starts whispering what happens to the boys, and the fox freaks out. He's like, oh, but, and he goes, no, they don't come back as boys. Watch it.
Ooh.
Right in your face.
Ooh. When do you think they started doing stuff like that?
Dude. He goes, we steal stupid little boys. It's the pub scene. The tavern or the pub. Yeah. Yeah. And, these guys are all hopped up. They're like, oh, we're making it. Yeah, this is it. This is it.
I didn't think and he still thinks we're his friends.
Big ugly fat fucker just watching at the end.
And Stromboli paid us.
This doesn't sound right.
Plenty.
Yeah, this is right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That shows you how low Honest John will.
That's not right.
Yeah, it is.
This audio's fucked up.
The audio's weird, but that
I think
is definitely
the audio's weird, but like just let it play out for a second.
Stoop. Right, Kitty?
Maybe that's how they avoid copyright.
So, Coachman?
Yeah, it's definitely different audio.
What is your proposition? Well.
Yeah,
that's not
different.
It's definitely
not
different
the real,
audio.
That's not
How
different
weird.
audio.
Do you think that's to avoid copyright protection on YouTube?
Someone was fucking around is all.
Oh, like someone showing that they can do voiceover?
Maybe.
I'm really good at it.
Could be right.
This is my audition reel.
It's like he's fucking audition.
Oh, they're playing it from. He's playing it from an iPad.
I wonder why it's.
Here we go.
It's great to be a celebrity, an actor's life for me. And the dummy fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. And he still thinks we're his friends. And did Stromboli pay? Plenty.
Now watch.
How low Honest John will stoop.
That's how low I'll stoop.
Now, Coachman,
So cocky.
what's your proposition? Well, how would you blokes like to make some real money? Well, and who do we have to, No, nothing like that. You see? I'm collecting stupid little boys. Stupid little boys? You know, the disobedient ones what play hooky from school. Oh. And you see... And I takes them to Pleasure Island.
What's your reaction?
Pleasure Island? But the law. Suppose they... No. They There's no list. There's no list. Come back as boys. Now, I've got a coach slow leaving at midnight. We meet at the crossroads. And no double crossing. No, sir. Scout around. In any good prospects you find, bring him to me. Yes,
Jesus Christ.
I got plenty.
What is that?
It's so creepy because, like, what value are boys to him? That's the thing. It's like they're going to kidnap these boys, but why?
And they're not going to kill him.
Oh, Jesus
No,
Christ.
no. You want to make real money. And the line before it, like, we'll stoop to anything for this much. And that's what people don't understand. That power will bring the pure demonic devil out of you if that's who your God is. And this fucker was like, she's like, you want to make a real man? We steal
Boys.
stupid little boys. We bring them to Pleasure Island. And then you see the fuck, he goes, Pleasure Island?
So they must-
and he goes, no, they don't come back as little boys.
So you got to think, in 1940, when they're writing this, the guys that are writing this, they must have probably heard stories about children getting sex trafficked. They must have heard those stories because we've heard those stories.
Yes.
We've heard those stories as adults.
Yes.
Where there was always stories about some weird government in Italy, was it say, where the original story was written, the donkey is a symbol of stupidity. The moral behind Pleasure Island is that little boys who scoff at education and moral codes set forth by their parents, preachers, and authority figures will engage in jackass behavior instead, such as fighting, vandalism, underage drinking, and often destined to grow up to become men who have no option to make a living except through back-breaking manual labor. And there are plenty of people in the world, such as the coachmen, who will take advantage of that. I think maybe there's a little more going on there. Like your interpretation of that, that's such a shallow interpretation of them kidnapping boys and saying they don't come back as boys.
We're just trying to help their education.
And then he's evil. So, like, what value would he have for what's the value of those boys if you're not sexualizing them? Like, it seems like that's a very specific possibility that's happening.
Just very incredible that no one talks about that.
Have you ever seen any of those documentaries about, like, government officials who get busted?
Oh, yeah.
It's wild,
No,
man.
it's
Must be, like, a certain group, like a secret group of people that have been engaging in stuff like that for a long time.
Well, think about this. All right. Do you remember, let's say, I'm going to say maybe early 90s? I could be wrong. Somewhere on the, I say around. Do you remember there was a girl that was kidnapped and they found her, and they were hiding her as like a it's like a religious thing. They had her in the woods, and she came out. They did a magazine article on her. They did a
Jessica McClure.
Baby Jessica.
I don't. She wasn't. She was
fell on the well. That's
she was a
Oh,
teenager.
that's the well girl.
She was a teenager. But anyway, they found her. Horrible things, kidnapped her and blah, 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 kept her in the woods, all that jazz. When you hear that a sexual predator, pedophile is a nice, very kind word for viciously raping a child. At the end of the day, you are viciously tearing apart a child's body, soul, and their being. Pedophile is too nice of a word to throw around. And so I remember 80s, 90s, you hear one person. There were guys in Ohio, people in Ohio. They had the girl, they'd had them tied up in the basement. Mm-hmm. This was huge news.
Yeah.
How many times in the last year or two, even just recently, 12 people caught sex trafficking and hey, Ukraine! Hey, gender rights! Hey, spy balloon! Why does that not get more attention? They'll scream, oh, these shootings. Yes, they're horrifying. But you care about children?
Well, if you care about
and
children,
you're just going to let an
how about the
article like
children
that
are
just
coming in through the border? Did you see that thing that Carrie Lake tweeted?
horrifying?
Do you see what she tweeted?
No. What, Carrie?
Yeah.
What'd she tweet?
See, you found about today about an 8-year-old girl that had been repeatedly raped. That they found all this DNA inside her from a bunch of different individuals.
8.
Yeah.
But we're gonna, and nobody, and that's, there's such a,
The fucking border thing is wild.
it's very wild.
It's wild
dark.
because it's like,
And they set it up with Trump. They were like, he's got him in cages and whatever happened, whatever. It made you just like, we need to go help the border. Just let, and that it was almost the setup for what's going on now.
yeah.
Like just
well,
shut your face. There's,
the crazy thing was when Trump said that actually Obama built those cages.
yes,
Yeah.
and he did.
Here it is.
That's
A precious
crazy.
8-year-old little
Oh,
girl was
God.
found at our border with 67 different traces of DNA inside her. In Joe Biden's America, little girls get raped by 67 different men. Did you pay your taxes today? Perhaps some of that money could be sent to fix our border instead of whatever the rest of her.
Ukraine, or what? I don't doubt she wrote that, but
But that we don't know if that's a true story.
right, you know,
I mean, all I'm doing is just reading her tweet, which
Yeah.
is if it was 6 different people, that's fucking insane.
but you know, you can't
it's
be
one
naive
person,
to
it's
think
insane.
something like that is going on.
Dude, this is all insane. It's all insane that, like, there's people that live in such horrific conditions, they'll risk their life to try to come to America.
Right.
I mean, that's where everyone's tugging on your heartstrings, because I get it. I get that part of it. But if you're just going to, like, let people pile into the country, then people are going to keep coming. They're going to know that they can pile into the country, and they're going to make it through there. And along with them are going to be some despicable criminals. So it's not just, people that want a better life. It's definitely people that want a better life. Also, definitely despicable criminals. And those make it into America with no way to stop it. And unless they get caught and sent back, and there's no real consequence to that, what happens? You get sent back? Okay, I'll try again. And they go back and forth.
Do you think the natives are laughing?
Native Americans?
Yeah. And what I mean by that, you think they're like, oh, I'm sorry, what's going on with you guys?
Getting invaded?
You get invaded?
How weird.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Huh.
Are they carrying smallpox? No, then I don't want to hear about it. You got off light.
Yeah. Oh, what? They're like working and stuff? What are they doing?
Did we ever figure, they think that smallpox, we brought smallpox to the Native Americans, but the Native Americans might have given syphilis to us. That might have been how syphilis made its way back to Europe. There was like 2 different kinds of syphilis. They think one of them, I think they're saying, might have come from them fucking animals. So it's like literal like VD from animals,
What kind of animal you think?
like sheep and shit like that.
I can see
Dudes
that.
banging sheep.
I can see that.
And then they banged people too, and they gave everybody syphilis. There's I believe there's that form, and I think there was another form that they think like Columbus might have brought back from, it was similar around that time when the syphilis outbreak hit Europe. It was when people returned from the New World. I wonder if that's been proven yet.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I don't know. I'm literally at the point, Joe. I don't know what to believe about anything anymore.
Medieval DNA
really don't.
suggests Columbus didn't trigger syphilis epidemic in Europe.
And how do you know?
Skeletons provide first DNA evidence of the diverse strain of syphilis circulated in Europe before 1492. Right, but I think what they're saying is there was always a syphilis, but that syphilis was the syphilis that came from fucking animals, and that the syphilis that came from North America was different. I think that was the thing that I had read.
You think we're the only species that does that?
That gives each other VD? No.
No. like inter-animal. Like, is a zebra going to check out a
There's
hippo?
There's many videos of like chimps skull fucking a bullfrog. Chimps would take a bullfrog and go, just suck my dick, shut the fuck up. It's so crazy. It's so rude. And you watch, imagine this poor frog. This giant chimp dick is just getting stuffed into your little frog mouth. Like, holy fuck. Imagine if that's your life. A chimp with this vice-like grip takes you and forces your mouth open and stuffs his cock inside of it and just skull fucks you. Like, look at this chimp. What's he doing?
Oh, no.
He's holding the frog there.
He's holding the frog, so he's walking with it while he's fucking it. That's so rude. That is so rude. So he's going to take the frog. Hey, come here, motherfucker. Look, he just grabs this frog, and he just forces it on its dick. He uses the frog as a little living fleshlight.
Oh, my God.
How crazy is that, bro?
It's rude.
It's so rude. You imagine that's the end of your life, just getting your life fucked away by a giant chimp? He just grabs you, and you're like, ah! And you see his dick coming towards you. He just opens your mouth up. Look at this. He just takes his dick and, like, stuffs it in this frog. This poor frog is like, what the fuck is going on, man? He doesn't even want to, like, hold him in place. The frog, like, gets out. He's like, no, back onto my dick. Like, he forces it open with his finger and then stuffs his dick in there. What a psycho. What a fucking psycho. Chimps are psychos.
Well, that's what happens when you steal them and you put them in a cage to live the rest of their life. They're going to go psycho.
Yeah, I bet they did that in the wild, too.
You think?
Yeah.
They're
around bullfrogs. They might not have been around bullfrogs in the wild. They might have fucked them all to death.
Yeah.
They might have had frogs there at one point in history.
Wiped out
the chimps just fucked the
whole
frogs
species.
to death.
Fuck the whole species out of their existence.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt, man.
Yeah.
Oh
Not
my
good.
God, that hurt. Can I pee?
Yeah, let's pee.
I gotta pee.
I'll pee too. We'll be right back, folks.
Oh my God. Gym and
For the
nap.
shows, you're a napper.
I'm not.
I like
But
a
my
nap every
body's
now and then.
tired.
Yeah, travel.
I've been traveling the last 2-3 days.
Travel's rough, dude. And it's rough.
And then
It's not
staying
good
out
for you.
later than Mr. Brewer stays out.
Yeah, you bailed on the burgers.
Bro, I'm happy about it. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, I generally don't eat burgers, but when I do, I eat 3 double cheeseburgers.
But your metabolism is 1,000 times more than mine right now. Like me, I just have like one burger, and then I got a week to try to get this thing out. My tits are gonna start drooping. It's like, and then I feel bad. Like, I'm not going to the gym.
I couldn't stop eating them last night. I ate 3 of them at 2 in the morning.
I watched you. I watched your buddy making them. I woke up this morning, so if you.
How good did they look? Oh my God, you should have smelled it.
They looked good, but I tapped out. I was done.
The thing about a cheeseburger, and this is what I respect what Philip has done. Philip Franklin Lee, who's a Michelin star chef, and he runs Sushi by Scratch. What is that, in Cedar Park? It's in Cedar Park, I think. And he runs the one in Miami. We went to the one in Miami. He decided to take that, like, his level of understanding how to cook and apply it to something simple and just make the perfect cheeseburger. And this experience, what I had, this is the best ever.
This is
right
last night.
when you're really hungry, yeah. Because I'm literally hovering over the grill. So Philip is cooking for us. He cooked for everybody.
Yeah.
We're all hanging out. We're watching him do it. I'm smelling it. I'm the whole thing. I'm documenting it and sniffing it, and then I ate it. It was fucking amazing.
You're panting.
Wagyu burgers, so they're very fatty. Then he puts the onions on it, and the fucking jalapenos and
Butter the roll?
pickles. No, he uses like this mayo that has like hot sauce in it and stuff.
Yeah.
You fucked up, dude.
No, I didn't.
We were trying to drag you. No, Jim does not take peer pressure. Like, it bounces right off.
No,
him.
I did a little bit just to go on that stage in that little room. I wanted nothing to do with that. I wanted nothing to do with a set last night. I was up till like 2 in the morning going, I'm fucking going back tomorrow and I'm going to do it my way. And I'm not hanging out with Joe and the guys. And I'm going to care about what I'm going to do and not pretend nonchalant. I'm coming back with some vengeance.
Okay.
But I was.
You don't have to like listen to us. You don't have to stay up.
No, I know but that's what I enjoy.
I enjoy it too.
You enjoy that's the child inside. You need to keep the child alive. And my child is. I like bringing the kid out, but I also.
You got responsibilities.
Well.
Take care of yourself.
No, my body. I was done. I was already looking at tomorrow. I'm like, this is gonna be a bad. Like,
you're just tired. Yeah. I get it. I've been tired.
I was tired.
Yeah.
And I already ate twice.
Yeah, I get it.
Owen hitting a burger.
I get it.
If I didn't eat,
I get it.
I know you do.
Those burgers, though. Jesus, those are good.
See, I'm still working on this right here.
I see.
I say I'm working on it. It's very lazy. It's not lazy like other, but it's.
What do you do?
I do the side thing with the pulley, side pulley.
Okay.
And then the weight's over. Like I'll be on the bench doing that.
Do those?
Yeah, like a little bit of those. I'll hang from the bar, do the leg lifts. That's it.
Just get a little something going.
Just get a little something, then, you know.
It's definitely better than nothing. Yeah.
Ride my bike a lot. Love riding my bike.
That's great.
That's what I love about Florida.
Oh, okay.
Flat.
What about alligators? You ever see one?
Yeah, I go kayaking with them.
Jesus.
They're not going to bother you.
Jesus.
They're not going to bother you.
Until they do.
There is a little something intimidating about.
Until they do.
I'm not afraid of them.
Oh, I'm very afraid of them. You're not afraid of them at all?
No.
They're dinosaurs.
Let me get it back. If I was in the water, yeah, I'm very.
Kayak, you're so close to the water.
I'm right in the water.
You're in the water with a kayak.
Yes.
Your nuts and your
Yes.
asshole.
And when
are
they see
touching
you-
the bottom of that thing,
Yeah.
maybe it comes and scrapes underneath your nuts and asshole because it's like literally like inches below the kayak, ready to flip it.
I don't.
Maybe
I'm
he's
not,
hungry.
I think they're
maybe
freaked
he ate
out.
all the ducks.
He might. I don't think so.
He's hungry.
And when they're pissed at you, what they'll do is they'll go in front of you, and then they'll slap their tails, and then they'll submerge.
Oh my God! What if they slap their tail and it fucks your kayak up and it starts taking water?
Well, then I got to start swimming. And wait for them.
In that water, watch those because they do eat people.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They took one out. It took an old lady out.
Yeah, that was in South Carolina, right? Wasn't it?
No, I think it was Florida.
Was Florida?
Yeah. It was
it's
an old
probably-
people home. She had no chance.
Oh Jesus!
It was horrible.
Old-
She had the dog. She tried to save the dog. It was over.
Oh, that's right. Old people home, and your neighbor gets killed by a dinosaur.
You're watching it. You're watching it. Horrible. I feel horrible for the family. I apologize for even bringing that up.
Make it to 86 and get taken out by a fucking alligator.
By a gator. Out of all the things you've seen.
Florida's so crazy with that. It's so
Dude,
crazy.
there's a rattlesnake in front of my house.
Do you know that Florida in the Everglades, 99% of all mammals are missing?
Yes, you told me that from the pythons. You can now hunt
99%.
pythons. Anyone can hunt them.
What is this guy doing?
Did you see it in the corner? Watch the
Alligator?
corner.
Where?
Oh, right there.
Right there.
Oh, it's coming towards him. It bumps his kayak.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Look
wait,
at this.
I don't
Look,
see him.
Look.
It flips him over.
You don't see it?
Do that again.
Look, it's coming right in the left-hand side. Watch.
It's right here.
Oh,
Watch this. Here it comes.
oh shit!
Oh, fuck.
And now you're in the
Go. Keep it going. Keep
Wait
it
a
going.
minute. Yeah,
I wanna
keep
see
it
what
going. I
happens.
want to see what happens to him.
It's fine.
He's fine.
That's how we got the video.
Oh, that's true.
They didn't find us on a dead body.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You get it? Like I said, I just did that earlier.
See, well, I'll be. That's where you got that from.
I didn't get it from that.
Well, I'll be
I haven't
honest.
seen
with
that before.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Behind my house,
It's monster soup.
there is monster soup. I do go kayaking in the monster soup,
That's what it is, dude.
but they do have. Oh my God, was it mangroves? Right, so they get these mangrove tunnels,
Swamps.
and everyone's like, "You should go in the mangrove. You can make it all the way to the bay towards Naples."
Or not.
And I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah, fuck that.
I feel better in the open water because I feel like the gator's less threatened. But where that guy was, I don't know if I could do that. I don't
He
know if I
thought
could.
that was like an invader. That gator thought that was an invader.
And if it's mating season,
Right.
that's
Oh,
another thing. Like
Jesus Christ.
right. He's gonna take you out. Look at that.
Is that the same guy?
No, this is just close encounters on a kayak.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a big boy. There's no reason to be that close.
Bro.
Why is he hovering there?
Fuck those things. Because he's an asshole.
Oh, that's not even. Dude, that's a paddleboard.
Yeah.
You got to be out of your. Oh my God.
Bro, that alligator's an asshole.
Just chilling.
Fuck that. These people are crazy.
They're crazy.
Why would they do that on a paddleboard? Those things are so unstable.
All right, now is this guy coming to us? Is this only?
These are all close encounters. These people are crazy to do this.
Yeah, this guy's
I've got one of those.
I
The
was
ho-
fishing in one of those things.
the
Those
hobies?
things look fun.
the hobbies where you do it, you pedal with your legs.
Those look dope.
They're so
Oh,
amazing.
Jesus
This
Christ.
doesn't seem good.
Oh, my God. He's going to have a gator under there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I bet he thinks he's got a catfish.
Right. He's
And
all
as he-
excited.
Yeah. And as he pulls it up, he's going to see a gator.
I think he did a weird stutter.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
I missed it.
Watch the mouth.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Bro, that's a huge gator. Look at the mouth.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Don't do that.
Oh, my God. Bro.
All right, you got me double thinking the kayaking.
Good, thank you.
And I've been in there a couple
I
times.
don't want to lose you to a python. Have you seen a python?
I've not. I've seen a rattlesnake. Now, there's a guy that I started hanging out with that hunts pythons, and he wants to bring me on a python hunt.
You have to go.
I feel like I have to go.
I feel like you have to go. I would go.
See, I'm doing things I never thought in my life I'd be doing. Like I told you, like the hunting. I'm gonna hunt for turkey.
Hunting turkey's a good one.
I feel like I cheated though.
Why?
The guy was so good. Like meaning,
Oh, the call and the turkey guy?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was that guy Mike. I told you, Mike. Yes, he was so good. What's the last name? You knew him. That's yes,
Mike Waddell.
yes,
Yeah. Mike Waddell's a world-famous hunter.
and that's what you said.
Yeah.
But you know when he sets up the two
You couldn't
girls,
have gone with a better guy. You couldn't have gone with like a more qualified, more knowledgeable hunter.
and that's what he was incredible. And
The guy's great. Conservationist, very knowledgeable. He's great.
I had an incredible time. Where am I going with this?
Shot a turkey. It was easy.
Yeah, before
Just
the
went with
turkey
him.
though. I was
I
talking.
think he took
about-
Theo Vaughn turkey hunting too. Didn't he take Theo Vaughn hunting?
Yes, he was right after
Yeah.
me. Theo
Yeah,
landed
That's perfect.
as I think.
Turkey's a good thing
He
to
was there the
shoot
next
because you
day.
don't feel bad for them. I don't know why. It's like you feel bad for a deer that you shoot, even though you know that you're going to eat it, and that's why you're there. There's a sense of loss with a deer that you don't get with a turkey. It's weird.
That's interesting. See now, I
You blow
felt
their brains out with a shotgun, and then you're like, all right.
I felt it's really funny. I mean, I was with this guy Ira Dean and Mike, and they would laugh their ass off because of they're used to this, and there's a picture of me holding the turkey. Oh damn!
There it is.
I don't think Ira put out the other one. Ira's on the right. There's another one.
It's a big ass turkey.
Yeah, I know they're not going to. That's like but what they didn't show. Damn, I wish I had the picture.
You were cuddling the turkey before it
Yes,
died?
yes.
That's weird. That's creepy.
I just wanted to look at it up close. I never saw a turkey up close, right? So I'm looking at him, and then I'm looking at him, and I'm feeling it. I'm like, wow, so this is what it's like. And then, Ira will come up, and he takes the beak. He's like, hey, good shot, Jim. I'm trying to have a moment. Like, oh, I'm going to eat
That's
you.
the thing. Nobody would do that with a deer. Like, hello, Jim. How are you? You just killed me. Don't you feel bad? They wouldn't do that with a deer. Like,
Right,
people are
where
more
turkey-
respectful to mammals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm more respectful to mammals for some strange reason.
Yeah, rather than a bird.
Yeah, I feel like zero connection to birds. Like, I don't want to pet bird. You know?
Right.
Pet
right.
dog, pet cat, even pet weird pets, like pet horse. I get it.
Yeah, I get it too.
Yeah, but like a pet snake, the fuck are you doing?
Oh, that's
You got a monster that lives with you.
The
You got a
sweetest.
monster that you feed. That's all that is. That
And they
is a
size you
heartless serpent. Yeah, they size you up.
They size
and the
you
only
up.
reason why they're not eating you is because you're not big enough, or they're not big enough.
They're not big enough.
Yeah.
And if they grow, but this is what I was talking about. The python hunting. I think in Florida now, anyone can hunt a python, and you get a prize too. Like you get money, and you get serious money. I don't
you
know if
ever
it's
see
like
the video?
$1,000. What?
Did you ever see the video of the guy? There's something wrong with his ceiling, and they're pulling on the
python.
ceiling, and the pythons were in the ceiling, and it collapses.
Yes.
And you see like 3 or 4 pythons
Yes.
are in his fucking ceiling.
And they're huge.
Huge. You're like,
Huge.
where the fuck is that place? And how do I make sure I never go there? Where was it? Malaysia. Holy shit, Malaysia. Watch this video. This is so crazy.
Oh, God.
Look at this.
Look at the size of them.
Bro. How many is there? There's 2, 3? There's the tail. That might be one.
It says 3 all over 10
Three.
feet long.
3 all over 10 feet long in the fucking ceiling.
Even when you get them out, how are you going back to sleep? How do you go back to sleep
You're never
after
going
that?
back to sleep, and you're not getting them out. They obviously have nested up there.
Oh,
my God.
look at the size of
The
them things.
size of these motherfuckers. So they must have heard them scurrying around the ceiling.
They caught one in my development.
A python?
Yeah.
How big was it?
I think it was like 10 feet.
Oh, my God.
And that's like, I mean.
They found a record size one recently. I think it was 18 feet. I think it was 18 or 19 feet. And they think they get bigger. Like, they don't even know how big they ultimately get. It's just not their environment, right?
Did you see this video?
What?
These guys were
Pulling out a snake?
Oh,
no, they
It's
got
pulling out
in
a
trouble.
python.
Something happened, like it's at a pet store. or
Killing
something
over
like
300 pythons and a boa constrictor.
But they did like they killed the wrong one or something like that. One of these was pregnant, had like 50 in it inside of it or something.
So why are they killing these things?
They're in Florida and they're
Oh, so now you realize he killed
they
the wrong one?
or something like that. Yeah.
Oh.
But
Look at
the
the
longer
mouse
video
open.
of
Oh,
like them
no.
killing it is pretty intense.
I don't need to see that. I mean, the whole thing is weird that they allowed those as exotic pets, and then these people just let them go in the swamp.
Right. And then you just keep multiplying. Don't you remember that
Apparently,
too?
that's only a part of the problem, though. I thought that was the whole problem. Another part of the problem was that there was a wildlife research facility where they were studying pythons, and somehow or another, it got destroyed in a storm, and the pythons got out.
Oh, the
true?
Hurricane Andrew, I think, like in the
Yeah.
90s.
Was that so? Yeah, so that's also part of the problem. So some of it is exotic pets, and some of it is these ones that they released from this research facility.
But it's more mind-boggling to me how just a couple can turn into completely taken over. How
They
does that?
took over everything because they're invasive. There's nothing knows to fear them.
But even when they're little, don't you think? I figure, what is the survival rate if if they're in the water with gators and you have bobcats? And,
Yeah, Hurricane Andrew. So that it was that. That is part of the python problem, right? I think they don't know exactly what which percentage comes from the pets from the 1970s and shit.
Right.
People let go.
Right.
Thousands of specimens of exotic species escaped their cages and enclosures during the passing of the storm through the South Dade County. State environmental inspectors reported 10 days after the hurricane, witnesses spotted hundreds of large snakes and non-venomous snakes loose. Wow, hundreds. And now those hundreds are 500,000. There's 500,000 pythons, they estimate. So because Burmese python invasion of South Florida Everglades, populations of raccoons and opossums dropped roughly 99%, and some species of rabbits and foxes effectively disappeared. Species that had long flourished here were being decimated by the aggressive newcomers. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's why it's a free-for-all now. So go ahead.
It is a
get 'em.
free-for-all. You know what else they've
Go get
spotted
'em.
in the Everglades?
What?
They spotted Nile crocodiles. So they don't know how they got in there. They don't know if it's someone's pet, but they had a kill-on-sight order for Nile crocodiles. They don't know if it's a breeding pair. They don't know. They have spotted at least one Nile crocodile in the Everglades.
Crocodile's a whole different animal.
That's a whole different
It's a whole different set. But
That's like a wolf compared to a German Shepherd.
Right. I
Yeah.
was in Costa Rica, kids were just doing like a vacation, staying in whatever. And I remember being in the water, in the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was swimming around. And I didn't go, the beach dropped off where we were. It was like a river that and the ocean was close. And it dropped by a little bit. And I mean, I was in there, I was touring around. I wouldn't go too deep and I stayed close. And the next day we went back there. It was a big freaking...
Crocodile slide.
No, he was banked on there.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God. And I just couldn't believe how no one else was in the water. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Could have been it.
It could have been it.
Could have been it.
See that? I'm safe in Florida kayaking. The
We
gators.
went on a tour of the crocodile habitat with my kids when they were, the youngest were like, they're probably like 6 and 8, somewhere around then.
Yeah.
And it was so creepy, dude. I was so, like, every time they moved, like, get away from the edge, get away from the edge. I was so hover parenting, which is like, and the kids are crazy. Like, I want to sit on the railing. I'm like, fuck no, you can't sit on the railing.
Right.
Like, don't do this. Like, if you go in that water, I'm going in that water too, and we're both going to die. Like,
you see the
I
guy?
can't, yeah.
The guy who did that?
What happened?
The guy with the dog?
Oh yeah, I did see that, but that was a little one. That was
It was a little
gator.
dog, but yeah.
Little gator too. It wasn't a big gator. That guy did get his dog back. That guy's a fucking savage.
I don't know how you did that with your
gangster
kids.
move.
You must have been freaking
out.
Freaking.
And we saw them, and they slide into the water right in front of you. There was this alligator slide, or crocodile slide rather. So you're on this body of water, and then right where the bank is, you see the crocs sunning themselves, and then you see them slide into the water. It's so creepy.
It is creepy.
It's so creepy because they're just killing machines, and you're in just this fucking boat. It's just a boat.
And you see them on land too. You don't think they're fat? They can move on land.
Oh, they move.
They move quick.
They move faster than we can. They can run faster than us.
Wait, what is this?
These guys were in their tent. And they turned. There's a post. It says hundreds of alligators or crocodiles behind them. I don't know.
In their tent.
mean,
So they camped on the beach.
Yeah, they're hanging out. And like,
Did you see the one on the right?
Oh my God! Look at that. He looks outside his tent.
Oh my!
Oh
see all the
my
eyes behind
God!
Oh
them? Look at
my
those eyes back
God!
there.
Oh my God! You literally camped at the spot where they go.
Where they knew he was there and they were
What the
going to
fuck
go
do
eat
you
him.
do? What the fuck do you do there?
You leave.
Do you leave?
Yeah.
What if you run into another group of them?
Right.
Like higher up the hill.
Right.
Imagine you're out of breath. You're running up the hill, and you get to the top, and you realize there's more alligators
And
up there.
there's 10 times the amount.
Yeah, and you're out of breath now.
You
Now
know,
you can't run.
I mean, you gotta do some research before you go there. I think.
You know what freaks me out more?
Young kids, they're reckless.
You know what freaks me out more is the Komodo dragons.
Oh, they're terrifying.
I follow something with them too. They're hard. They're hard. They eat the whole goat like
Their
it's nothing.
mouth too. That fucking the shit that drips out, the slime.
Yes. Yes.
They're so creepy. Do you remember when Sharon Stone's husband got bit by one of those? It
No.
bit his foot. Yeah, he went to the zoo.
There's a follow up. The alligators got the tent.
Oh my God.
Look at all of them.
Oh my God. Hey, bro.
Whoa.
That is crazy. So they overcame the tent. So this guy just had to run away.
Oh, they're in
That was
Zambia.
That was a different story. I think.
Where are they?
Zambia?
Oh, those are crocodiles.
Yeah.
That's scarier. That's way scarier.
Brazil.
Oh, so those are caimans.
Wow.
If it was, well, where was he? He wasn't in Brazil. He's Brazilian.
He's Brazilian.
He's Brazilian. So where was he doing this? Does it say?
Camp didn't work out very well.
I feel like I saw it.
Does it say at the top?
Africa.
This says this clip
Africa.
comes after a British team.
Okay,
This is
says-
a different thing. This is different down here.
Okay, that's a different story.
Yeah.
So go up to the very top.
Didn't
Does it say where it
No,
was?
didn't say.
It says, waking to find a nest of crocodiles invading his tent. Honestly, it seemed to me they look like alligators. Can I see that again? I'm not sure if those were crocodiles. All of them are fucking terrifying. It does look like alligators.
They look
to me.
like alligators.
Can I see
they got
the,
the round nose?
The video again? So here we go. We have to watch a Ray-Bans ad? Is this his ad? Oh, this is his TikTok?
I don't know. Yeah, it gave
Oh, you're never going to find it.
gave me a
Yeah.
bad link. It won't.
Where did it go, though? You had it before, right?
I just hit. It was playing on. Refresh that.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me look at those. That was it. Yeah, those are crocodiles. Aren't they? Or no, they're
I
alligators.
don't know. They look like gators because
They
their
look like
their
alligators.
snout is
yeah,
round.
it's round. They look like alligators. Huh.
Either way.
Anyway, he fucked up. Whatever
up.
they are, it's not good.
No.
It's not good. One of my favorite stories I heard about an alligator getting a guy was his cops were on a high-speed pursuit with this dude. He had a stolen car, and I think it was a stolen car. Anyway, he gets to a bridge and jumps off and to try to escape and jumps into the water and immediately gets killed by a gator.
Boom, done.
Like literally landed next to one. And he's like, oh, free lunch. Snap.
There was a guy in Florida. I think he was on his bicycle, and he like tripped, like, lost thing, and he rolled. Just perfect place, right with the gator.
Snap.
The gator got him. I don't think he killed him.
Oh,
I think like he tore his arm.
Probably freaked the gator out.
Well, yeah, the gator's just hanging out. All of a sudden, here comes this tumbling.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I think about that too, because where I take my bike out, the water's got gators in it, and I'm always like, okay, maybe I shouldn't mess around.
How many Florida panthers are there? Are they common? I saw a nice video the other day. This guy was turkey hunting, and this panther didn't realize he was there, and the panther's just walking right by him as he's turkey hunting. He's like covered in camo and shit, and this turkey's like, this panther's walking by his turkey decoy.
Yep, I think that's more in the Everglades area, and because a lot of Florida's getting built up.
Yeah.
Like even where I'm at, I can't believe
so many people moved there.
So many people.
How many people turned Republican? It had to be more than 1 million.
I think I saw something where like the ratio too was like 80 to 20.
Like Florida
of the people
is the
that moved
most
to Florida.
red state.
Yeah, like
it
80%
is the most
or
red.
70%.
Look how
registered.
well DeSantis did in the last vote. I mean, he just destroyed it.
Destroyed it.
Like that is a red state now, and it's like the most sensible version of how to handle that pandemic, and that's people don't want to admit that. They want to think that there was something wrong with what they did. Like I had this conversation with this one guy who was talking about all these cops that died of COVID, and it's the biggest thing. Like they're handling it so poorly.
Right.
I go, no, it's because the cops are fat, man. Like we all know the true story about that. We know that. I mean, everybody knows fat cops. That's the problem. Is like that shit's really bad if you're obese.
There's also
what's that, Jamie?
Barely won.
This last one? What year is that?
2018, I guess.
No, that's
that one he barely won. He barely won when he got into office.
Yeah, and then the other guy
the
got
last one
busted.
Yeah, that's 2018. Go to the 2022.
Yeah.
So in 2022, though, I think he won by like 65% or something wacky, which is very rare.
He crushed. I've never seen a state. There we go. Oh
yeah,
my.
59%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Orlando.
The other guy got 40.
Wow, look at.
Yeah, that's big.
That is really big.
It's a big change from 2018, that's for sure.
Well, it's a new refugee camp. You get a lot of people from Chicago are fleeing there. A lot of people from Chicago. You got Californians, for some reason, going to Naples.
Did you see that video from Chicago where those kids
just ransacking?
They ran up to that white lady in front of her apartment and just beat the shit out of her.
Horrifying.
It's so crazy.
Horrifying.
That this is happening in modern 2023 in Chicago.
Right. Can you imagine?
Giant groups of kids just beating a lady up for no reason.
Because she was white. Let's not.
But imagine that.
She's a white girl.
Yeah.
And the look on her face, she probably has never even seen a fight, let alone been in a fight.
Sheer complete terror. And
beyond
they just beat
and
the fuck out of her.
There's all hands of all different angles just beating you. And what is it at the end of the day? What sparked it? What created that madness? What brings you to the state of I just got to beat someone because they look like that's madness?
It's also a recognition that law enforcement has lost control. Like the fact that they can do that and they think they can do that as little kids. There's like young teenagers doing this, smashing windows and meeting up in groups of hundreds. Like what do they do? Are they organizing on social media? Like what are they doing?
For
Is
sure.
that what they're doing?
Yeah. It's happening lots of places.
And how is no one stopping that?
How's no one stopping it? You don't see the organizing on social media?
Yeah, it's crazy.
With everything that's seen on your phone, they don't see certain things.
Yeah, how do you not see that?
Come on, man.
But I don't think the way the policing is in this country, the way the people have lost respect for law enforcement, it's all that defund the police shit has real consequences, and that's one of them. You're seeing it right there. It's so spooky, man. It's so spooky how quickly things can like deteriorate.
Well, they also dehumanize everything. When you're a police officer, what you don't realize is most of the times those cops are the first one to see your dead child.
Yeah.
And you know the trauma that brings?
Yeah.
Like if you got kids at home and you became an officer because you grew up in a nowhere out situation, or maybe your parents got divorced or whatever, and the only way that you know to survive is you get a pension and blah, 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 and try to take the test. You take a test. You know, most people think cops are just, they're guys that are shooting. Most of the things they're showing up to is watching people maimed and killed and fighting and beating women. I mean, the most horror for so many people in the fire department, police, you show up and like, yeah, the kid's dead in the back. You know, like you want to call the mom. You know what kind of, like, that's the side that no one will ever talk about. And that's the side, you know, you just show a clip that happened at one particular incident, and then the demons, we call it news media, the monsters, the creators of pure evil and violence and mind control and emotion control, spit out, and then boom, they hit the nerve knowing they can manipulate and control and spread violence. And
well, it's also activists wanted to say that the problem was cops are showing up, law enforcement, for things that should just involve counselors, and that these cops are not qualified to do that, so they're going to defund that aspect of the police. The problem is just that narrative alone devalues the police. It's like you put this thing out there that we need to stop funding the police. The police are the problem. No, the crime is the fucking problem. And the problem is no one does a damn thing to prevent long-term crime by enriching communities, by going into these places. Instead of spending $40 billion to fight this fucking proxy war with Ukraine and Russia, instead of doing that, what about fixing these fucking cities that have been economically disenfranchised since who the fuck knows when?
That's right.
Like just decade upon decade upon decade of the same kinds of crime in the same neighborhoods, and you expect people to come out of that and pull themselves up by their bootstraps. It's fucking ridiculous.
Bro, I remember the early 90s. I was doing something in Harlem. There was a show in Harlem. It was a comedy club there, the Uptown Comedy Club.
I remember that place.
Yeah. And I learned so much. I had the most incredible conversation. I think it was with Tracy Morgan, and we were on the street, and we just got so open and honest, and we just started asking each other questions. And when it came to things like welfare, I realized that is such a purposely driven, in my opinion, government trap. And just the way he was explaining, he's like, you know, if I have a kid, they give me money. And he's like, we don't have options. They keep us here. You know, they put certain foods here. They offer to pay us money. And I'd love to see the statistic of when welfare came out, how communities thrived or plummeted after that, because they didn't have a drive for themselves. They're under the illusion that they're going to be taken care of.
That is a very dangerous thing for people if you can keep them complacent and like with a certain level of income, and just keep that amount of money where they don't have to do anything. And a lot of people get conditioned. But the other thing is, like, how do you get people off of that? Like, without extreme willpower and discipline and like working really, really hard to get off of that, and then deciding you're not going to accept that money anymore. Like, for some people, it's easier to just stay in that little system.
And that goes on in every level.
Yeah.
That goes on every level. When every finance level you hit, you kind of, I mean, it gets easier at the more finances, but
it gets a lot easier.
It gets a lot easier.
It's a lot easier.
Yes.
But
yes.
The thing about it is that it's human nature, but B, there's a lack of hope. So like if you gave that welfare check to places where people are thriving and doing things that they love to do, then it wouldn't be so bad because they just keep doing things they love to do and thriving, right? And then maybe they would find other stuff to do for a living and they wouldn't need welfare. But if you're doing it to people that live in despair, that's when it's sick. Like there's something sick about it, because it's like all you're doing is putting a little Band-Aid on it, and you are giving people food and you are giving people shelter, and that is good. It's definitely better than them being homeless. But that is not fixing anything. And the only way to fix it is to give people hope. And you can't have any hope when you live in a community where like everything's fucked, where like everyone's
drugs run rampant,
violence,
cigarettes,
gangs,
liquor store, everything runs rampant.
Yeah, and that's the real problem. The real problem is people have a lack of hope, lack of positive role models. Everybody that you know is either involved in crime or the victim of crime or avoiding crime, or it's like you're just dealing with constant violence and crime.
But give me your money, and I'll go fix Ukraine.
It's crazy, right? It's like, how do we not address these problems in America? How do they, like, whenever the debates come up every year?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Pro-life, pro-choice.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to get jobs. Like, bitch, what you are not. We have created so many jobs in this administration.
And we're going to do so much for the military.
That's one thing I love about the new Twitter. When anybody posts something, even from the White House, it gets fact-checked. And the White House has had to pull tweets because they're just bullshit.
Thank God.
Thank the baby Jesus.
Thank
the
God.
baby Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
you, baby Jesus.
Thank you, baby Jesus. Tom Cruise, use your witchcraft. Bro, it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Talladega Nights.
He is funny.
Bro.
He's funny.
Will Ferrell is funny. He's so funny in that movie, too. How have they not done Talladega Nights 2? Someone please help me out.
He would go into character and stay in character.
Oh, yeah.
For a week at a time. That's Saturday Night Live. He would come in, he'd wear this vest, and he'd kind of grow his hair a little bit, and he wouldn't shave. And it would drive people like Marcy Klein, like the producer, like, Will, you're representing Saturday Night Live here, and we'd all be like, oh, is he gonna? He wouldn't. He'd do that all week.
So they didn't like the way he was dressed?
No, because he would stay like that all week and stay in character. Sometimes it would drive me nuts. You know, like if I want to talk to you, and every time I see you, you're like,
hello,
I don't
Jim.
know.
Good to speak to you today. Will you be sailing with me this winter?
Correct. And I go, Joe. And you go, I don't know who this Joe is, but I will seek him and tell him you're looking for him.
I read a story once where John Voight and Angelina Jolie were having a phone call, and in this story they were saying that they were talking in character the entire time. Like they had a conversation in character.
I've done that with my daughter. We
for
cook
fun.
on Sundays and we do for fun. Oh, these two.
Well, these two, they're wacky. They're not funny. Like neither one of them is funny.
They just did it for the sake of doing it.
I think they were doing like acting exercises on the phone with each other. They were talking in character.
Exercises, that word. Just acting exercises already makes me crack
So
up.
part of me is already questioning me being critical of this because now I'm thinking, but they are professional actors. Would that be fun? Because you're kind of working with your daughter then. You're like working on a little exercise. It's like if you were a painter and you painted a thing with your daughter. Is that weird? Like, why is it weird? Like, the only time you talk, you should have to talk like normal.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't you be able to talk in character?
I think it hides
I'm mad
emotions.
at myself. I'm mad at myself for being upset at them. I'm looking at it, I'm like, why am I being so critical of that? They're literally professional actors at the highest level. I mean, he was in fucking wasn't he in what was John Voight in that one movie with Dustin Hoffman? Oh my God. Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
Dude.
If I did, I don't remember it.
Dude, that's a wild movie. Was that Midnight Cowboy? Was that it? Yeah. That's a wild movie, man. That's a movie about like these street hustlers from like the 1970s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I did see this.
Yeah, John Voight played like some street hustler in New York City. And,
I've had to have seen
oh,
this.
it's a great movie, man.
It's like HBO,
Yeah,
early 80s.
Oh, no. 69.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's a 1969 movie.
Oh, wow.
God, I haven't seen this in fucking 20 years. More. Maybe more than 20 years. I need to watch it again.
Did you ever get into Westerns?
Love Westerns.
Clint Eastwood?
You know what I love? The Unforgiven. Because that's the most realistic of his Westerns. That's when he's like an older guy, and it's Morgan Freeman and him and Gene Hackman. Oh, my God. It's like, I think that's the best Western of all time.
Is that the one that opens up and it's like, oh, no, not
No,
thinking of the way Metallica opens
This is
their concert.
This is what it is. It's like he did all those spaghetti westerns, which were amazing, but then he went back and did a real movie on what life in the West was like. So instead of it being sort of glossed over spaghetti western like he did with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and a lot of other things, this one was like horrific, like really probably accurate as to how brutal life in that time period was.
What did Gene Hackman play in this?
Gene Hackman was a sheriff. He was like a fucked up asshole of a sheriff that Clint Eastwood winds up killing. Spoiler alert.
I've seen this, but I have to watch this again. I remember him.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
It's a heavy movie, man. It's a heavy movie.
The boy gets killed. He's on he goes on the, I remember this.
Well, Clint Eastwood was an assassin when he was younger. and he got married and had a family and turned over a new leaf and was running a farm, but he was raising his kids, and they made him an offer to kill some people that had killed somebody. And so he needed to because his farm was falling apart, so he goes back into action. But it's believable. It's a really good movie. It's like it's so different than the style of movies that he used to do about westerns, because he flipped it on its head and made it. It's a horrific. It's not in any way glorified. Like, nothing's glorious. The people are cowards. It's like they're human. Everything works and he's like reprehensible. He's a complete sociopath that has no problem, just a psychopath. Has no problem killing people. It doesn't raise his heart rate at all. That's one of the reasons why he's so good at killing people. He never freaks out. It's
right.
He's calm in the face of everything. Boom, and everybody's like stumbling for their gun. Oh Jesus! Boom.
Right.
And it's believable. It's so creepy and it's so good, man. It's a fucking great movie.
I'll have to watch that again. I got into actually I started watching on a plane because I don't watch a lot of TV. What is the series where I'm the worst at this? It was a Western, and they're settling, and they're bringing like these people from Denmark or they're Dutch across the country.
Oh, Deadwood? Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
The early Yellowstones. So like not Yellowstone, but the earlier ones, like the 18 whatever it is, and there's like 3 different Yellowstones that are running now.
Well, I want to say this one was more recent, and it's the guy. You know the guy in Casino that runs? He goes up to De Niro. He's like, I really like you to get my son my nephew to work again. You know that actor?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Do you know his name?
God damn it.
He's in this movie, and he's like taking them across the whole country.
So it's a movie. It's not a show.
I'm sorry, it's a series.
It's a series.
But I got hooked on this thing because there was some raw stuff.
So is it a Yellowstone, one of the early ones?
Is it the show with Josh Brolin called Outer Range?
I got to see what it looks like. It could be. I think it's Yellowstone.
Dude, there's so many Yellowstone. That Taylor Sheridan is a bad motherfucker.
This is Outer Range.
That guy has put
Josh
together
Brolin
some
on that.
incredible shows.
No.
Outer Range.
Sci-fi Western.
Josh
No.
Brolin is the fucking man, dude.
That ain't it.
I love that guy too. He's great in everything.
Josh Bowen?
Brolin,
Roland. I don't know.
whatever.
Yellowstone, Kevin Costner.
It's not the Kevin Costner one.
Oh, the Kevin Costner one is the shit.
My wife was watching. I watched a couple of those.
That's another good movie. Wyatt Earp.
Wild Overs. Yes.
This is a
Wyatt Earp.
sci-fi
That
thing,
there.
too.
Boom. Boom. Right.
It is this one?
I feel like this chick was in it.
This one?
Yes, that one. Wait. Go back. Yes.
What is that?
Up there. That. Oh my God.
1883. So yeah, that's the Yellowstone prequel. That's
Oh,
like
my-
the early days of Yellowstone. I've heard that's amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That one. Maybe because I was on the plane and I was completely that.
That's Taylor Sheridan. That's the same guy who did Yellowstone, right? He did that as well, right? Dude, he's the fucking man.
This was so like you can wrap your head around and go, oh well, this makes more sense how it all went down.
Yeah.
This makes all the sense in the world. And they what you were saying with Clint Eastwood, how it's just they became accustomed to it.
Yeah.
Like because they would constantly be under attack, whether
Yeah.
it was just for their supplies or they wanted their girls, and they weren't worried about natives. They were more worried about
other
bunch
outlaws.
of bunch of monsters out there. And
Yeah.
oh my God,
That makes more sense.
It was so good coming to steal your cattle or coming to steal your
The
horses.
Wild West, man. I mean, that's really what it was. And those people made it across the country. There were so many fucking bad people. There were so many outlaws and just horrific conditions and no law enforcement and just fucking chaos.
Well, there's a scene in there, and it actually reminded me when I watched it last night. You did something last night. There's a little part of one of the sets, and you're talking about like the tribal, like we used to. Oh, you were like we used to, be able to just maim and kill, and
That's
we
what
had this.
for most of history, it was very horrific.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a scene in here that I thought it was described by the female who she's already lost. I don't want to give too much away, but she's seen enough. She's like a kid. She fell in love, but towards the end, she falls in love, and this guy's protecting her, and she's describing like almost what a turn on and the power of this guy. He's like the the aggressive, revengeful anger of him just hatching this other guy, and you don't even feel bad. You're like, you know what? Fucker deserves to be hatched up for what he did. And it's just, and she's watching, and this becomes the norm. Just boom, and she's like,
killing someone with an axe.
Ah, just took him out.
Holy shit!
Took him out.
There's something about axe murderer. It's like a very specific kind of murderer.
So barbaric.
Because it's the only kind of murderer where you have a definition. Like you have that word connected, like axe murderer. No one calls you a gun murderer.
That's right.
But an axe murder is a very specific definition.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is interesting.
Knife
it's
murderer?
So no.
Poison murderer?
Nope. Axe murderer. An axe murderer is a specifically brutal way to kill someone. And it's terrifying for people because they don't feel like they could do anything about it. Someone's coming at you with an axe, like, Jesus Christ, you don't have much room for error.
I've seen videos, but I know I'm not going to be able to pull it off under pressure.
Yeah, dude, it's too scary.
You're supposed to get close.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, right? Get close.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But the way she describes it, it reminds me of what you just said. It's just becomes something.
Yeah. Well, that's how human beings existed for thousands and thousands of years. They existed in these. I mean, when you go back and listen to accounts of history.
How long do you think that lasted to? And where did it last? You're like, did that last? Was that going on when they were settling here?
I have a very specific explanation for it, I think. I think it has to do with the Younger Dryas impact theory. I think that human beings, especially in Africa, had achieved an insanely high level of sophistication. What they had done in Egypt is still, to this day, one of the most confusing things that anyone's ever been able to accomplish. And the fact that that these people were able to accomplish it 4,000, 5,000 years ago or more. They don't even know really how old some of that stuff is. I think that when the asteroids impacted and the ice age ended, and there's a lot of evidence of this, like physical evidence all over the earth, that they were smashed by asteroids. I think it knocked human beings back into the fucking Stone Age. And I think the people that survived had to survive in the most brutal and barbaric conditions, where society was completely eroded, where it was just chaos. Most people were dead. And you survived if you were underground. You survived if you had gotten into caves. You survived if you had accumulated enough resources so you could make it through whatever amount of nuclear winter exists, from pelted by giant rocks from space that literally ended the ice age and killed 65% of all the megafauna in North America. 65% of all the mammals died off quick. Whether it's woolly mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, 65% of them just got wiped out in a very short period of time. Probably because there was no food left over, probably because a lot of them got killed on the initial impact and through the floods and all this shit that happened when the ice caps melted. And I think that the reason why people were so barbaric 3,000, 4,000 years ago, I think that's the ancestors of the people that survived that disaster. And I think they had to be monsters. I bet the early days there was a lot of cannibalism. I bet people did whatever the fuck they could to just exist. Yeah. Right after the impacts, whatever people were left, I bet there was very few people left, and I bet their lives were hard as fuck.
I think that still exists to a degree.
Well, it definitely still exists to a degree.
It still exists, but they don't need no ice age to still act like that or have that built inside them.
Sure, but what I'm thinking is one of the reasons why you have such sophistication, like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, and then you have like thousands of years later, sheer barbarism. Like how'd that happen? Because I think everything was stopped. I think it all stopped, and I think the people were left in a fucking Mad Max world for a long-ass time. When they talk about civilization restarting, right? So if this happened 11,800 years ago, which is what they think happened, the earliest instances up until these theories of modern civilization was 6,000 years ago. That's Sumer. That's first mathematics, first written language. A lot of different things come out of this one part of the world. But that's 5,000 years after the impacts. So what if you have this sophisticated society of people that are operating probably at a higher level than we are now, just through some technology that we don't understand. And they get fucking annihilated by rocks from space. And then whoever does exist, they exist in a horrific way for thousands of years before people reinvent civilization.
I don't know. It's all too much for me. I get that. I just don't know. I don't know.
That's a good way
I think
to
there's,
talk about that. I don't know either. But it's one of my favorite subjects.
No, I know. Me too. It's fascinating. I always want to know, like, where do certain things start? Where does that start? And how did it spread?
Why do I keep fucking up Graham Hancock's series? It's ancient apocalypse, right?
Correct.
Well, I always say ancient catastrophe. I almost said it again, but it is apocalypse. Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. Watch it. It's amazing. It's a series of where Graham Hancock, who's the master of this stuff, who really understands it better than anybody, and Randall Carlson, who's the master of, he really understands the asteroid impacts and the impact theory. And they put this together, and they said there's like distinct evidence of a very advanced culture that we have no explanation for. And it exists all over the world. There's these stone structures in specific that are so complex, and we don't know who did them. We don't know how they moved them. And all this evidence seems to point to that at one point in time, human beings had reached a very high level of sophistication for design, for construction, for the ability to move stones and cut them. Like, it's really high levels of construction, to the point where, you know, you're getting all these stones to meet perfectly at the top of a massive pyramid that's 2,300,000 stones.
Well, not only that, like, it's mind-boggling to think they're also in Mexico, and there's and possibly be buried under a mountain that looks like a mountain, but it's actually another pyramid that everything grew over.
Exactly.
It's like,
that's all through the Amazon. They find those too.
Right. That's mind-boggling to me.
Mind-boggling. All through the Amazon, it's filled with these structures. They use LiDAR and they scan the surface of the ground. They find irrigation tracks and like plots of land and grids like for a city. Wild shit.
Go to
man.
Egypt?
I have not been. I want to
like
go.
I went there and they were. I don't know, man. It's wild. It's also weird to see, like, what the hell's that thing in Washington D.C. The pointy thing.
Oh, the obelisk.
The obelisk.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the meaning of that? Because why is that in D.C. and it was in Egypt?
It's in Rome as well.
It's in Rome.
There's an Egyptian obelisk that's in Rome, in the middle of the Vatican.
That fascinates me.
It's amazing.
Like, what's the connection on the three of them, and why is it in D.C.?
It's a good question. And the original obelisks, man, when they find ones that they didn't wind up using because there's a crack, and you see them like carved out of stone, you're like, how the fuck were you going to move this?
Right.
What did you do? How did you do this?
I started seeing stuff like that because I remember my mom would talk about the World Fair.
That Chicago thing where they turned on the lights for the first time?
No, I saw that one too, but I think there was one in New York. But then I saw the thing in Chicago where they built everything up and it looked like a city, and then just got rid of it like it was nothing.
Yeah, what was it? Like, was it a facade? Did they build a facade?
I don't know. Like, was that a Disney set type thing, or was that
some
real
shady contracting deal going on there? For sure, in Chicago, 100% that was the mob. Hey, we got to take it down now. We got a fucking contract there.
It's no good.
The contract is we build and then we take it down. Come on, I told you. We made a fucking deal.
Right.
Don't make me come visit you.
I put the Caesar up. I put everything you said. Look at it, make it all nice and everything.
Don't
Why are you getting
make
excited?
me come visit you, you piece of shit.
Take it down.
The Vatican is insane, dude. Have you been there?
I have not. I went to Rome, but I didn't visit the Vatican.
God, you got to go next time. I went and I had a really cool guide. We hired a professor. He was this multi-language speaking professor, really interesting dude, and he got really into it with me. Like, we really, really like got into all these different. He was so knowledgeable. It was really cool.
Do you know who you were?
Who did
he know who you were?
Yeah, he knew who I was. Yeah, he was really cool. He just gave me like the lowdown on, first of all, why they all have little dicks. I was like, why do they all have little dicks? Like, there's got to be a reason for that. He told me that they thought that a large penis was like brutish and barbaric. And they're like some dude with a little dick had conned everybody into thinking the little dicks were the shit. So you have these
Simple propaganda.
total propaganda.
It's the most easiest.
It's a little dick guy. He's like, you don't want that big dick. The big dick is nothing but problems. The big dick doesn't come with culture or agriculture or the civilization that we've created. This beautiful city relies on little dick energy.
Start building these things everywhere. I need statues of little dicks on every
legit
corner.
little dick energy. And after a while, somewhere along the line, I forget what the explanation was. They started covering them up with leaves. They started covering the dicks up with leaves.
Right.
So there'd be this beautiful body, this like perfect man, but this little leaf over it.
little
Leaf. They're like, where? That guy had a hog on him. Well, look at the size of that guy.
Little leaf dick.
Yeah.
I saw it. It's weird.
Very rare that a guy built like a Greek god has a little tiny dick. I just don't think those things go together. You
Like,
look
are
at
they messing with it?
You look at the size of his hands and his shoulders. And it's like, well,
Right,
let's have
but a little dick.
monster hog.
Right.
No, little tiny ass dick.
You need
and
a-
everyone's like, yes, little dicks are the way to go. Whatever little dick energy dude who was running Rome at the time was like, no. What? 2 inches? Are you insane? Nobody needs 2 inches. It's like you don't need an AR-15. That's like the same people today. What do you need, an AR-15 to protect yourself? That's a military assault rifle.
Oh,
2
God.
inches. 1 inch is plenty to pleasure every woman that's ever existed. 1 inch is fine. They give them these little 1-inch penises. Giant Goliath of a man, full 6-pack. Dude looks like literally looks like a superhero. Little
Put that
tiny ass
leaf
dick.
over it.
Cover his penis with a leaf. Just so weird. And there's so much art, dude. There's so much art. You're blown away. I mean, you know there's so much art when you get there. But then when you're wandering around, you're like, what in the fuck, man? This is nuts.
The arena.
The Coliseum.
Right,
Yeah.
the Coliseum.
Yeah, the Coliseum is incredible. That's incredible. All of it's incredible. I mean, if you could go back and see what that was like when the Emperor of Rome was presiding over the Colosseum and they got people gladiator fights and they're letting tigers loose and shit. Like, what the fuck, man? They had the animals in cages underneath the floor and they would raise the cage up and let the animal out.
What's the movie?
Gladiator. Russell Crowe.
What monster?
The shit.
Monster movie.
The shit.
That was a monster.
That movie was so good.
Oh my God.
I cried like a baby at the end.
Oh
of that
my
movie.
God. I open mouth cried.
Oh, everybody wanted to be Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? Remember that?
So good.
Oh my God. And then the Joaquin Phoenix perfectly plays.
He was great.
Oh, perfectly plays the creepy dictator.
He was such
Oh my God, he was so good.
dick.
So good and so beautiful at the time.
Right.
Imagine that that's the guy who becomes the Joker. Look how beautiful he was.
Dude, he's a great actor.
Oh my God, he's incredible.
That guy's
He's incredible.
unbelievable.
He freaked
actor.
me out in the Joker because I was like, this could happen. I think he's partially responsible for the Antifa riots. I think people saw that and they're like, that looks like fun. We need a real Joker. You know when the guys are out there like aspiring to be the real Joker?
The
And
real
then
Joker.
They're going to do Joker Part 2, which is great. Good job, Todd Phillips. I'm going to send us further into demise. It's the ultimate anti-hero.
They are filming it next year, right? With Lady Gaga or something.
It's happening right now.
Oh God.
It's musical too.
Yeah, dude, it's
I can't. I
it's going to
already
be
don't want to see
so
it.
intense.
I don't
Oh,
wanna
it's going to
see
be
it.
good. It's going to be amazing. But isn't it funny that Todd Phillips had to stop making comedies because the world got too woke? Like the kind of comedies that he made before, if you tried to make them today, you'd get in real trouble.
Todd Phillips was so. What was that first? Was Hangover his first? What was his first one?
I don't know.
That was him, Hangover, right?
Yeah, that's him. Let's go to his IMDb. Check my IMDb.
Check my eye.
What have you ever done?
He made
What have you
Road
ever
Trip.
done, Jim? Why don't you just check my IMDb?
And
Piece
you'll
of shit.
see
I was
both
half
incredible
baked, you
things.
fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, his first movie was Road Trip and then Old School.
Oh wow! So he did some classics.
So he went right.
Road
from
Trip and
Yeah, right
Old
after
School.
Old School, right out of the gate.
Oh my god!
Right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
There's a drive, and the left fielder doesn't even move.
But I think he did an interview where he was talking about it, like the difficulties of doing those kind of comedies today.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, what was so offensive in
Everything. Try watching them again. Try watching Step Brothers. You watch Step Brothers, you're like, Jesus, like the language. Like there's so many of those things you cannot say
The
today.
Hangover offensive?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is...
Perfectly.
It's
the right
raunchy,
amount.
but
It's
it's
raunchy.
not
That's what I say. I
offensive.
say
Yeah,
raunchy, but I
It
don't
was
think there's
rated R. I think
anything...
that was the only thing that was big about it.
There's nothing
A little bit of
cancelable.
nudity,
Well, doesn't
get fucked up in Vegas,
Dr. Ken pull his dick out?
whatever that was.
Remember, he's got a
That's
micro
weird.
penis.
Yeah,
Do you think that was really his dick? If it is, that's so rude. If you're like, listen, and you know,
I'm not-
we don't even have to do any special effects.
I don't
Just
no showing my dick.
maybe it really is his dick. He's proud of
Could
it.
be.
Could be.
Could be. It is. I mean, if you're going for the laugh and you think...
If he was the king of the world, everybody would have a little dick on a statue.
That's right. So he may be onto something.
Maybe having the baby is a big problem, you know?
Yeah, it's a little bit of
But
an
I
issue.
guess
That's normal though.
That movie...
Great
when
fucking movie.
When I saw that in the theaters, that's another one where it's hard to get me to belly laugh. I was belly laughing.
How about Something About Mary? Remember that?
That was hilarious.
Farrelly Brothers?
Yes.
Oh,
And
the
uh,
jizz in the hair?
What's his... And what wasn't there the guy? What's his name? Oh my God! And he kept having a pimple in a different spot.
Chris
And-
Elliott.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chris Elliott had like a weird. And how funny was Damon?
Yeah.
No, not Dylan.
Yeah.
Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
It's the cop.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the kids that feel bad. Dude, he was funny in that.
Yeah. I miss those kind of movies. You know?
I do too. So funny.
Kingpin?
Kingpin was hilarious.
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
I miss those kind of movies. They don't really make that many of those. It used to be there was a lot of banger comedies that would come out every year.
I would say Anchorman's the closest thing to
Yeah.
like that silly ensemble, and you're invested.
Yeah.
No matter how silly the character is, you're invested in him.
Sandler still does them.
Sandler does them, yep.
Great silly movies.
Yep. He's the king of silly movies.
He's the king.
King of silly
It's always funny to me like critics review his movie poorly. I'm like, this is a perfect Adam Sandler movie, you idiot. You know, I mean, if
He's
you
not
don't
here
like
to
Happy
appease
Gilmore,
you.
if you don't like Happy Gilmore, you can go fuck yourself.
Right.
You don't like that movie? Like that? Do you know what you're signing up for? Like, it's not like you go to a fucking JoJo Siwa concert and you're looking to see Pink Floyd. You went to the wrong place.
Right.
It's an Adam Sandler movie, and they're awesome.
Right.
You just got to be in the mood for like the Zohan.
Right. I'm not
If you're in the
here for
mood that-
Raging Bull.
It's a great movie. The Zohan's a great fucking movie. I love that movie.
And
But
just like you said, you come in and you've got that mindset, like, you know what, I'm just gonna whatever goes, it's gonna go, and I can't wait for this. These movies are hilarious.
Hilarious. The Zohan is a hilarious movie. That's such a good movie. During the pandemic, my family and I, well, you know, my kids were 10 and 12 at the time, and like that's the perfect kind of movie to watch because they're pretty non-offensive. You can watch any Adam Sandler movie with your kids, and I'll enjoy them too. It was perfect. So we watched every Adam Sandler movie. We binged them.
He was good in, you know, he was good in too. It's like he could do serious stuff too.
Uncut Gems.
What was was it Spanish Fly?
What's that?
Where it was like he had a wife and a kid, or like he played like a father. It was
Spanglish.
Was it
Spanglish?
Banglish?
Spanglish?
Spanglish.
What is Spanglish? I'm not aware of that one.
I feel like, and he was more serious, and he was really
Well, he was
good in it.
amazing in Uncut Gems. It's 2004. Oh, wow. I didn't know about that one.
No, he was really good in that.
Bro, he's amazing.
He
You
is
should.
really
Have you seen Uncut Gems?
I don't. Let me see the.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, Spanglish.
How do you say it, Jim?
I really like Spanglish.
Uncut Gems.
It's about
Uncut Gems.
gambling.
Let me see.
and-
Uncut Gems.
Oh, I didn't see this one.
Bro, Uncut Gems is fucking amazing. We just watched the trailer because the
Oh, I
trailer will
wanted
give
to
you
see this
anxiety.
one.
It's
I
incredible.
wanted to see this one.
It is incredible. It's an incredible movie, and he's so goddamn good in it. He plays a gambling addict so well, it freaks you the fuck out while you're watching. You go, no, 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 no! Don't fucking do this.
Mike Francesca.
Yeah, dude, a lot of good actors are in it. It's a great movie.
All right, that's the movie of the week then.
Oh, you have to watch
That's
it.
the movie of the week.
Yeah, people told me about it and I put it off. And then when I finally watched it, I was like, holy shit.
I get home Sunday night. That we're watching that movie.
Yeah, my wife didn't even enjoy it. It gave her anxiety.
Really?
It's so crazy.
Then that means it's really good.
It's so good, dude.
I can't
it's
wait to
so
see-
good. And Adam Sandler plays a gambling. You ever been around gambling junkies?
Yeah.
he plays it perfect. He just like, this next one, I got this fucking next one. I'm going to shove it up everybody's fucking ass. It's amazing. It's so good. That's those guys, man. Those guys that get addicted to sports gambling.
Yep.
Holy fuck, those guys are just degenerates. It is just a roller coaster ride of emotions, and they can't stop.
They can't
They're
stop.
so addicted to that rush.
I know a guy lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like $250,000. I'm sure this guy's, but for a guy of his status to lose that, I remember there was a guy. Even I went to, I think I was filming a pilot or something, and I was like, "Oh, you got to come out for this pilot," and I flew him out, blah blah, and he was gone till like 5 a.m. Came back, he's like, "Yeah, I was at the casino." I said, "There's a casino in L.A." Somewhere out there and he found it, and he stayed. It was probably like an hour away. He found it. We'd show up at 5 a.m. When those guys are in, you're in L.A. You're going to California. You're going to Hollywood. So many things you can do. You're looking for stars. You're looking for. You're going to go see the mountains. You're going to take a ride on the hills, Mulholland, anything. All he wanted to do is find a casino.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's sad. He
That's
beat
heavy.
it. I think he beat it, but
It's hard to beat because that rush, the thing that they get out of it is like regular life seems very boring if you don't have like a big bet on the line. Like every day there's a bet. And every day you're trying to get even, or you're trying to get better, you're trying to get that money back, and
Yeah.
people are trying to get you because you have loans out, and so you have to run away. So it's this wild adventure.
that's when it gets intense.
Whew. And in New York, they have off-track betting, right? So there's betting everywhere. In New York, you can go bet on the horse races. You can bet on dog races.
We we had a relationship, it was only too
Can you
much.
bet on
right?
dog races still?
They used to be in Florida. I've never
Greyhound
seen
races,
that in
right?
Florida.
Do they still do that? Because I know that like a lot of animal cruelty people wanted to stop that. They do them here in Texas? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me retract. It says dog racing is illegal in 7 states. All dog tracks have been closed and ceased live racing, but a prohibitory statute has been enacted. Those states include Alabama, Arkansas, Connecticut, Kansas, Iowa, Texas, and Wisconsin.
So those are the places where you can still,
Yeah.
but do they do it?
This video is from last year.
Oh, my God. This is last year? They put a wire mesh over the dog's face, too, and make him run. Look at these motherfuckers.
Look at how fast they run.
Bro.
Look at how fast that
Look
thing
how
runs.
fast those motherfuckers go. That is so insane.
Oh my God! Here comes the. Look at the one on the outside is coming in.
Bro, they're so fast. They're
Oh
so
my.
fast. This guy's getting tired. The dude in the front is getting tired. But look at him go.
Wow! He just got a last burst of energy.
He did. He's like, he felt them on his ass.
Yep, he
Oh
did.
my
He
God.
even glanced back and saw him.
They're still going.
Oh damn!
How long do they
I
run
thought it was
for?
over.
How long do they run for?
I don't know.
So this, are they chasing a thing?
That one, no. Sometimes they chase like a little rabbit.
A little rabbit.
This time they're just running.
They're just running. I felt like he glanced at one right before that turn.
Jesus,
He's like, "Oh
dude.
damn, they're on me."
Do they have a thing over their mouth while they're running? No.
No.
Wow. Yeah, there's something that creeps people out about dogs running. Because
Yeah.
like, that dog could just be your pet. Like, why are you having
Like,
them run?
Maybe that's what like horses.
Look, they
we
do
allow the
run with
horses.
the thing over their face. Look at that.
And so I guess different rules, different places.
Wow. That's probably so they don't bite each other.
Right.
They probably get mad that one dude won the race and try to sucker punch him.
Bite his
You
inner,
know?
bite his inner thigh.
That kind of shit happens, man. Gotta be careful. Competitive dogs.
Gives him a little crotch bite right before the thing takes off and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alligator racing wouldn't bother me at all. Race those fucking assholes.
I'd like to see that go down.
Yeah.
Little alligator racing.
How'd you get them
Put
to
a little
run?
muscle around him.
You have to starve 'em.
Put chicken. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you have to
starting to put
starve
a
'em
chicken
and-
for like a
and-
stick with a chicken
yeah.
or something like that.
And run with a horse dragging a chicken behind it.
Yeah.
What if the horse trips? Horse breaks its leg. You're pinned under the horse, and the alligators start running on you. Nobody's gonna feel bad for you.
No, but if anything, you're going to be a huge social media star the next day.
Yeah, well, you're
I mean, you're not going to be around to enjoy
Yeah,
it, but
you're
your
dead.
family's be like, hey,
You
isn't
had
that?
starving crocodiles running
Yeah.
after the you know how scary that would be if you had if you starved them so that you could do this, because you have to starve them for a long time, because alligators and
They can
crocodiles,
last for a while.
I think they can go a year without eating. Yeah,
Wow, that's a long time.
yeah, yeah. They're particularly robust animals. That's why they survived everything. They survived everything that Mother Nature threw at them. They
Yeah,
survived. They're here and the dinosaurs aren't.
You're right.
Yeah, they're very robust. Those motherfuckers, they're durable.
Yeah, they could just bury themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Just go underground.
Yeah.
Just gonna chill out for the next 100 days.
They have gator holes in the ground where they have like the little dens they dig in the ground. Steve Ranella just sent me this video of this gator running out of this little area he's in and running into like a gator hole.
Gator hole?
Yeah, he's got like a gator den that he just has fucking dug into the side.
That scares me.
It should scare you.
Yeah.
They're creepy, man. It's a creepy animal. And they live amongst us. And in Florida, they really live amongst us. I mean,
They're everywhere.
no, I can't find it.
When they get too big in our development, I don't know how they get them, but they like take them in the middle of the night or something.
They kill
if it
'em?
gets over 5 feet, no, they relocate them. So they say.
Relocate 'em. How about fucking Disney World, where that poor kid got eaten?
Well, my
How
kids were
crazy is
playing there.
that? Jesus, right there.
Right there, I know exactly where it happened, and it's a beach. It was a beach area, and I remember walking in the water with my kids. Now, granted, they were only maybe up to their calves, and they were small, but I was right next to them. But still,
Fuck that.
I see how it went down.
Well, the guy, when we were at Disney World, the guy who was, they have like a whole fishing adventure thing you can do at Disney World, too.
Yes.
And they take you out on the lake. The guy was saying that they have to remove alligators all the time. They
Yeah.
just find their way into Disney World.
Yeah, they find water. They find water. You can't keep a gator from finding ponds and lakes and all that jazz.
It's just
Doesn't
so
matter.
interesting that you just get accustomed to being around monsters. Like even in a North American city, in the United States of America, you get accustomed to being around monsters if you live in Florida. It's just
Right. It's different.
Just
yeah.
Florida. Oh,
All
look,
monsters
there's a
are
monster.
different. Oh, look,
Driving
there's
down the
a-
highway, 16-foot monster just sitting on the side.
Yeah, there's a monster right there. There's a
sunning
little
himself.
monster rattling its tail in front of me.
Ooh.
Right outside our house. Right as I come out of my house, right as the driveway, sitting there across the street.
How big was it?
It's probably about 5.5, 6 feet.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Nice, thick. He was, and then I think they removed him like 2 days later.
This is an interesting fight I've never seen.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, a horse kicks that gator, lets him know who's boss. What, you want some of this?
What if that's a wild horse?
I don't know, but the horse like, listen,
Stomped on him.
and that's a big gator.
Jesus. Look at that.
Boom.
I don't like the horse's chances there.
Great meal for that gator if he fucking wins.
That's
Yeah.
a big win for the gator.
If that horse fucks up and gets one of his legs clamped down on. Horses are so fucking strong, though.
They are. They really are. I love seeing them in the wild. Are there any places left? I know in North Carolina there's wild horses.
There's a lot of wild horses in this country. It's actually an issue.
Really?
Yeah, it's an issue in some places where they're trying to figure out what to do, and they've opposed killing wild horses.
What?
So they're trying to like figure out like some people are opposed to it. Some people do kill them. It's wild horses will like compete with domestic cattle and a lot of other animals for resources. You know, they could reining in the wild horse crisis. Here it goes. See,
2,000 horses and burros. Says on
Yeah.
public lands.
it certainly stands at 26,000 animals. Look at this. Bureau of Land Management, the federal agency charged with managing the animals, sets an appropriate population level for wild horses based on the amount of rangeland available. A figure that currently stands at 26,785 animals. Today, there is an estimated 82,000 wild horses and burros on public rangelands, more than 3 times the designated level. Even more challenging, due to the high fertility of the wild equines, the population is on pace to double every 4 years. Wow. Wild horses.
It's a lot.
Do you know that wild horses actually originated in North America? And then they died off in that mass depopulation of megafauna. And then they were reintroduced in North America by Europeans. Like all the horses in Africa, like all wild
The zebra
horses.
and the
So
wild-
horses originated right here. Not wild.
Well, the natives used the horses too.
They didn't use the horses until the Europeans gave it to them.
Really?
Yeah.
They didn't have horses?
Nope.
I never knew that.
Yeah, pretty wild. The Comanche learned horse rearing. That's the reason why the Comanche were able to take over like most of the Great Plains.
Like not even in South
Texas.
America, they didn't have horses. Like when they used donkeys.
When Cortez invaded the Aztecs, one of the things they were freaked out about that he was on a horse. They thought they were like gods. They were riding horses.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
Seen that.
That would freak me out.
What's crazy is they started here. Horses started here. They were wiped out and then reintroduced by the Europeans. And now you got a giant population of wild ones.
Huh.
Pretty interesting, but goddamn, imagine just being in the wild and seeing like a group of wild horses running by. That'd be amazing.
It would be pretty awesome.
Pretty fucking
there's
amazing.
a presence too. Like I was on the Outer Banks, and if you go to the area where there's no roads or whatever, you go to, and you'll just see like a herd of horses just kind of hanging out around your house. It brings this like bizarre peace inside.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
They're a fucking cool animal.
It's majestic looking.
Yeah.
And you feel something when I can't explain it.
Plus, there's something that I like about these horses just out there just living wild.
Yes.
And probably very happy. Like that's
the only way to be happy.
the way they want to live.
Of course.
We are just so accustomed to all horses being just locked up.
Right.
Weird, right?
It is weird.
Like we think of wild horses as a problem.
Right, that's a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
But wrangling them in.
Problem. They're wild.
They're a problem.
Why are they out there wild when we could be riding them?
They're all
This is bullshit.
They're free,
Yeah.
roaming where they want. This is such an issue.
And you can't control them like you control deer, right? So if there's like wild deer and the population gets too high, you just issue tags, and then the hunters go and they, manage the wildlife population that way. You can't do that with horses because people don't you don't want to shoot a fucking horse. That's creepy.
That's tough.
Creepy.
I don't want that gig if you had to do it.
Imagine you're the guy who has to go out and kill the wild horses. You'd feel like such a piece of shit.
Yeah. Especially if someone saw you too by accident or something. They told me to do it.
You got a sniper rifle and just taking out these majestic stallions and mares.
When that video comes out.
Enjoying themselves on these beautiful plains, just eating grass, not fucking with anybody.
Running around, jumping.
And you got them at a distance. Bow. Boom.
Right. And the baby horse looking at the mom like, oh my God, what just happened?
Oh, and so if you have 82,000 and it doubles every 4 years, and you got to get it down to 26,000, dude, that's a lot of slaughter.
They're gonna poison them or something.
Well,
they'll do something gnarly.
I wonder what they're gonna do because that has giant consequences. Because then things that eat them get poisoned. There was a problem with that in L.A. because they were poisoning rats, and then you're seeing a decrease in the owl population. Yeah, right. Owls would swoop down and get these diseased rats, these poisoned rats, and then they would get sick. We before we moved here, an owl died on our front porch, and there was something wrong with it, man. We were wondering if it got poisoned. It was all fucked up. It was just like trying to like move but couldn't, and we found I guess it had fallen from the sky and just landed in front of our house.
It was a barn owl, the big like
a real fucking owl, like
yeah,
it was creepy cat, one of them cat killing owls.
The ones that turn around and look.
It wasn't necessarily a big one; it was just a regular size one.
But the eyes.
It was weird, man, to see this thing poisoned. I think, my guess is that it either ate something because people they do that all the time. They leave out rat poison.
Right.
Like that's how people take care of rats around their house.
Yeah, you don't realize you're right. Everything else is being poisoned. Something eats it, it's going to be poisoned. Maybe it comes in contact with something else.
That's the beautiful thing about the ecosystem of California is that those little coyotes, they keep the rat population down. People that are sad because the coyotes kill their cats and kill their dogs. Yeah, it is sad. But also, the reason why you're not infested with rats is because you got little tiny wolves that are running through the hills every day, just eating everything that slips up.
Yeah.
And you need that balance, as weird as that seems.
No, that's a well-designed plan at the end of the day.
Yeah, but there's something cool about seeing those motherfuckers operating in the city. There's something cool about
like a coyote?
Yeah, just hanging out in the city. There's a creepy video of a coyote eating a cat in L.A. on a front lawn while traffic is driving by, and this coyote is just eating this cat.
I might have seen this. I remember seeing coyotes in downtown Chicago a couple years ago.
They're everywhere.
That blew me away.
They're in every city.
Well, yeah.
Every city in the country.
But that's wild to think about.
Wild. Yeah.
And they haven't attacked people.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, they have.
Sure. Yeah. Well, in Canada, a woman got killed by one. It's very rare.
Oh.
It was a 19-year-old woman. But they attributed that to the lack of prey for the coyotes in that area, and they've taken to attacking moose. So these coyotes were accustomed to attacking things that were bigger than her.
Right.
Bigger than them.
Oh,
so
yeah.
here's this coyote
my
in the
God.
middle of fucking L.A. just eating this cat.
Wow.
It's so creepy, dude. Look at that.
Oh,
Oh, my God. That's
wow.
creepy. You
Imagine
little
that's your-
motherfucker. That's your little sweetheart.
That's your cat.
Your
That's
little purr
what
machine.
you look up to.
And it's just meat to this coyote.
Yeah, that's all it is.
He's just eating it and then
Look at it. Raw.
time lapsed.
He's eating a foot.
Look at that cat
look at
right
the cat
behind him.
watching.
Oh, Jesus.
Cat's like,
That cat was like, oh.
he's traumatized.
Shit. Look at him. He's twitching.
He's
Oh,
watching
shit.
he's watching his buddy just
That's
get.
where she went. I was trying to fuck her.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. Look at him, man.
Wow. I'm
Look
just
at him.
gonna walk over here.
He's
I don't think he
sneaking
sees me.
around. He's sneaking around.
I don't
wow.
think he sees me. I'm just gonna get out of here.
He just did that.
Wow.
Right behind that fucking coyote.
Look at that. Right on the lawn. I'm
Right on
gonna
the lawn. All
eat
these
this
cars
thing.
everywhere. He doesn't give a shit. He's just eating that cat. Dude, they're just around people. There's a great
That's
book.
nature
If
right
you're really
there.
interested in coyotes, there's a great book called Coyote America by this guy, Dan Flores, who's he's been on the podcast before. I forget where he's a professor at. But he has a detailed history of the coyote and how they were worshipped by certain Native Americans and how they made their way into every city in the country over the last 100 years. Like they were confined to the West, but they got chased out. And as they got chased out of places, they just reestablished themselves in new places until they're everywhere.
Survival. Nature always
Yeah.
figures it out a way. Dude, I gotta pee
You
again.
gotta pee again. Let's wrap this bitch up.
Okay.
We did enough.
Oh damn.
It's 5 o'clock. Got a show in 2 hours.
It's 5 o'clock?
It's 5 o'clock.
No.
Yes.
What time we get in here?
I don't know.
Huh.